Alright. YouTube is receiving my content. I am all set. What was I doing? Lead the investigation using the officer's deck and receiving the officer's reports. Right, the bathtub thing. Visiting the officer's deck? Is that somewhere around here? Should I just talk to the named, like, NPCs? Doesn't look like it. I'll try another person just to be sure. No. Hello, Nether. Nice to have you. I think the officer's deck may be all the way over here. You're here early today. Here it is. Now we get to do some interrogation. Now. Popped up on your screen. Search screen. Usually, for me, it takes at least until about now for the notification to pop up. Hello, Cabela. It stands out clearly from the officers in attendance. Both were favoring in the full regalia of a member of the Bloodspun Web over formal attire. For the empty space around her, the other attendees are keeping their distance, as if an air of mortal danger repels them from your companion. Danrock, whose keen, worried gaze is locked on Cabela, and whose mouth is stretched into the most courteous of smiles, gives you a hurried bow, your lordship. Woman Sigmund, you are here. Bill sounds neither excited nor solemn. Tone is indifferent, as her loathsome metal claws clutch a slice of fruit from one of the plates. How's the food? Food like this is impossible to come by in the lower bays. I do not know what this is, but it tastes incredible. Juice is dripping down from her fingers and hand. Seems she is the only one here who has not lost her appetite. Officers' faces have turned into pale, alarmed masks, and none of them is in any hurry to enjoy the feast. Well, how are you enjoying the ceremony? Attempting to peer through the florid shell to the core, yet it continues to elude me. The florid shell. I don't know what that means. What's the purpose of this ritual, Demon Sigmund? Explain it to me. Camaraderie. You rolled a... I forget if that's a million, right? 540 million aura and souls RNG with a luck of 14.35, and the aura is not even cool. I don't know what a lot of that means, but it sounds like you got something rare but you don't like it. Were you trying to get something that you actually wanted of the same rarity but you got another thing? I know how that feels. Is serving one's thread not the greatest joy there is? You of all people should know this, Demon Sigmund. I'm too conspicuous beside the rest of your servants. Bell looks at the other servants and they quickly avert their eyes. Fitting mask. That is what is required for a ritual like this. Came unprepared. It will not happen again. And how are you? Feel wrong. Strange people, strange sounds and gestures. Bell lets out a sharp breath. Her gaze becomes vacant and her hand reaches for the table knife. I'm losing myself in this whirlpool. Grasping the knife, she begins to carve lines right into the expensive wooden tabletop. A nervous murmur runs through the crowd as gazes are locked on the harmless-looking, barely sharpened metal utensil in the hand of the cultist of the Bloodspun Web. What's the difference between... Oh yeah, I guess it is. My coercion is literally 3 times better. Another aura has a Shardscape song. I don't know what that is, but I am happy you seem excited. Does someone have a problem with Cabela? Your words diffuse the fearful attention. Focused on Cabela as a strike cruiser scatters in a Raider squadron. Officers stop staring at your intimidating companion. Cabela glances at the maze she has inscribed in size. Whenever I lose my thread, whenever I'm forced to stray by the outside world, I return to the labyrinth. There's all the answers. My meditation helps in finding my way out. I regain myself and praise the righteousness of serving the Undying One. You seem strangely dressed for the occasion. Cabela looks at you with mild confusion. My appearance tells those around me who I am. Everyone here is wearing a mask for their respective thread. It's not a requirement. Is this not a requirement for your rituals? She glances at the opulent room, dazzling decor, and the handsomely dressed officers. This was probably not a good idea. Then Orca sighs heavily and looks down. Why, you look like you have looked behind the curtain of my existence, and now I have looked at yours. Bill stares at you intently. Do you not think that we have heard all the words that should have been spoken here today, because you do not wish to say them in front of witnesses? You only have 700,000 rolls and 12 and a half days. You only have that much. That's a bit of an understatement, I think. Let's go, we'll take a walk. Cabela avoids your gaze as the two of you walk away from the other guests. She seems calm, with a slight tremble running down her right hand, betrays her agitation. Once you are alone, she looks straight at you. Some people have more than 600 days? Well, yeah, but comparison is the thief of joy, or something like that. 12 days is a lot. I might have close to... No. I only have like 130 hours in this game. I was gonna say I might have close to 12 days in this game. And that would be a lot. I don't think I'm... I think I'm like 130 hours in. I have discerned what you are doing here, and I know that your calling it a ritual was a ruse. True rituals are constant, immutable. The cycles of the cooling machines in the ship's bowels or the shifts of the bay's servants. This was spontaneous, something you prepared just for me, and then you stayed at my side the entire time. Now here you are granting me yet another request. Why is that? The person with the most rolls has 177 million? I don't think he has a life. Or is a bot. That's what I think. What do you mean, Cabela? There's no place for idle benevolence, neither among your thread nor along mine. Cabela's eyes seem to almost glow in the dark, you know, in the dark that we're standing in. Yet you offer me attention and privileges that are both undeserved and unnecessary. Why? You are my comrade. Bill loses her head and looks up at you with one. Here, at the top, everyone's blood still carries a craving for what my cult sees as weakness, attachments, intimacy. I understand, but I have no need for them, and yet I am grateful for the offer. She shakes herself slightly, as if throwing a familiar cloak of aloofness over her shoulders. We must now return to our own thread. We must now return each to our own thread, thank you. Well, that wasn't what I intended to do. I forgot I was doing that. But that was fun, I suppose. Alright. Back to the after step. Oh, nice. Speed run strat. I didn't realize. There we go. Starback, Box-themed forces gathered before you. So Lordship, the Curator wishes to handle the investigation personally. The infamous collected stats of like 1,000,000 aura counts, as 1,000,000 stats of the number one stat player's auras. It totals up to 43.5 billion. And the rarest aura in the game is like 3 billion aura. Well, like I said, they either have no life for our bots, that, or they paid for it, if that's a thing that you can do in this game. I don't know what game you're talking about, honestly. I'm talking with half knowledge. Lord Captain, the 3 officers before you have been tasked with conducting the investigation. First, Captain Klein is a veteran with a record of quelled uprisings and mutant abominations in the colonies. Captain Ginevri is young, but she has already preempted several mutinies among the ship's rabble. Lastly, there's Captain Procto. His interrogation skills deserve credit, and he knows how to instill fear and respect firmly into the minds of the riffraff. You notice the enforcers exchange a few astounded glances and throw their shoulders back. Apparently, they are not used to standing so close to figures as renowned as you. Ooh. After carefully assessing the officers' bearing and their uniforms, Abelard nods with satisfaction. Their drilling is good, their service records are excellent. Let's see how they perform in the field. Am I too marvelous to be here? On the contrary, your lordship, your presence inspires us. Your lordship, I hope you do not take this as insolence, but I am a great admirer of yours. I've read the fictionalized accounts of your deeds many times. Going to my data repository, the term fictionalized is typically applied to texts whose knowledge dissemination potential is negative. Knowledge dissemination potential? Well, I know what fictional means. Can't pay for it, you can pop potions to gain luck, like an Oblivion potion. You have 60k luck, and 1 in 100 chance to get an exclusive aura, and a 1 in 2,000 get another exclusive aura of Oblivion potions. And you pay for these potions, perchance? Why is Pascal telling me what fictional means? I know what fictional means, how dare you. They write stories about me, do they? Of course, I have it right here. Offers you a worn home with somewhat embellished portrait of you on the cover. I can craft them, I see. I suppose that's fair, then. I'm going to sign your book, or portrait, that's what it was. Ginevra accepts the tome gingerly as if it were a relic touched by the Emperor himself. Sarlac's murderous glares silence Ginevra's frantic expressions of gratitude. Does that take care of the pleasantries? Then let's return to the attempt on the Lord Captain's life. Okay, so what do we know? We discovered a worker's corpse, mutilated and desiccated. We're still looking to the man's identity and position. The Chi-Urgin's report has confirmed that, among all the blood that was pumped into your bath chamber, the blood-carrying mutations was indeed his. The workers from the nearby decks have all been checked for generic aberration, but the mutants identified are all within the norm for laboring masses. They are being rounded up for interrogation as we speak. How are we gonna question hundreds of people? Our interrogation techniques are broad and varied. However, nothing loosens the tongue like corporal punishments, beatings, mutilations, torture, public executions. Starback almost purrs as she lists ways to make people suffer. When combined with psychological pressure, such methods work wonders. Mirtha drops his bored expression and tilts his head to the side, looking Starback. This one is intriguing, Sigmund. Lend her to me to play with after you have dealt with your wounded pride. It seems we have some common ground to explore. If it works, it works. I'm delighted to hear it, Lord Captain. It is always a pleasure to meet a connoisseur of the craft. So do we have any ideas? The mutants are plotting. Klein spits in disgust. They have been breeding like void rats, so they are getting cocky. Must have wanted to infect your lordship with their plague. Wasn't an attempt on the Lord Captain's life. It was a threat. The rebel are planning a revolt, and they're trying to terrorize us. Soon, you will drown in blood. Insurgents pride themselves on such metaphors. Meanwhile, Captain Hrothko is convinced that it was the work of Wojtvir's surviving cultists. However, I believe this to be a warning rather than a threat. But we need to establish who is trying to warn us and of what. So, who are we gonna investigate first? The body. Once we have ascertained the dead man's identity, we will be able to locate his associates and narrow down the number of suspects. Captain Klein is in charge of examining the corpse. You just got a 1.7 million, but it's so ugly you have it on auto skip, I say. Body was discovered on a suspected platform not far from the room with the artillery sphere. Take a left once you're out of the mess hall. Your lordship, go to the balcony. Corpse is on the next platform after the one holding the Infernus Guild suspects. Show you around the scene once you're there. Infernus Guild suspects? Yes, your lordship. Undergoing interrogation like all the rest. Gum refused to comply, so they were isolated on a separate platform. The Inferni are a rotten bunch. Must be involved in this. Let's begin. People are at your disposal, Lord Captain. What did he say? Take a left out of the mess hall and go along the balcony. Okay. I am going to loot this place first. It's my ship. I am beholden to everything on it. Anything else? Doesn't seem like it. I would think. So take a left out of the mess hall. How do I just want to... I guess that's the best I get. You leave through here. And he said take a left, so we're gonna go right.
Curiosity sings
There
in
is
my
no
veins.
right. Left it is. Left is always right.
Crimson, black, cerulean, grey. It has all become an ugly whirlwind of muck. Rage and despair have poisoned the bay.
And treason has poisoned the whole damn ship. In the interest of dealing with it, I will try my best to ignore this ugly whirlwind you speak of.
The only aura you want is a breakthrough. So 2 billion. Looks like super good and has one of your favorite songs' music to it. Well, I hope you get it. I've never been a gambler myself. Is this the body? Doesn't seem to be.
One step at a time amidst the madness.
I guess I just... Body might be... Yeah, there's the body. Which means if I go this way... Secret? No. No. Okay, back to the corpse. Right there.
Tense. My nerves are frayed.
Hello, Klein. Hello, corpse. Desiccated body is horribly mutilated. What was once the face is now a shapeless mass of flesh and bone shards. Worker's ruined body lies in a waxen pile on the platform. His face is crushed, his throat open, his body riddled with cuts and lacerations. Above it stands Captain Klein, dim light filling the lines of his forehead with shadows that bleed down his furrowed brows, and into the pits of his eyes. The scalpel in his hand trembles faintly. Might look human, but what's inside is all wrong. Unholy, irredeemable wrong. You do the autopsy? Have, but I'll get back to it in just a moment, your lordship. Just a moment, you say? Suppressed a dozen mutant revolts on Dargonis for Lady Theodora. Torn the freaks to pieces myself, but to open one up, sink my hands into their impure guts infested with the mutant blight. Cassie's right here, come on. I've seen this aberration utterly pervert the human form. Thought of it as touching me, disgusting and infuriating, but I will overcome this. You will indeed, Captain. If you like, I can recite a few paragraphs of the regulations to enthuse you. Coal-black fear colors a soul. I doubt it can be cast off by mere force of will. Well, if you're gonna be a bit too, I forget what the word is, queasy for it, then I'll do it. Skin and bones part, and the stench of rancid meat hits your nostrils. Klein empties the stomach over the deck railing. Fighting the urge to vomit yourself, you peer at the vile mass of subhuman entrails. Vestigial ingrown arms wrap around what look like the vile semblances of familiar organs interlaced with scaly, bile-colored sacs. Your knowledge of Xenos is enough to infer that the murdered man may have been subject to Xeno influence. True human form has not simply been distorted, but mixed with something strange, something profane. It is as if you are dissecting a seed that should have evolved into something more complex and alien. Inspect the wounds. Judging by the damage, those brutal wounds were administered posthumously, I think. That's how you say it? Posthumously. Over the top of those inflicted while the victim was alive, so someone deliberately wanted to make it harder to identify the victim and his cause of death. The truth is, the killer acted quickly and with surgical precision, and suspended the body upside down to drain its blood. And the entrails? Twisted abnormalities of the mutant's insides make you wonder if it can even be considered human at all. As you probe deeper, your hand finds something lodged in the victim's gullet, something stuffed a black feather into the man's throat. Certain legend springs to mind, one involving Saint Quirine, I think that's how you say it, who was granted a portent of enemies hiding among the faithful. When Quirine prayed to the Emperor for a sign that might reveal the traitors, a raven's feather burst out of her mouth to inscribe the names of the conspirators. Only someone versed in the symbology of the Imperium could have left such a message. Any identifying marks? With some difficulty, you are able to discern a mark on his neck, almost ruined by the wound across his throat. It's a tattoo of a skull with a valve in its mouth and a string of letters, numbers encircling it. SP24601. Alright, I'm done. The enforcer offers you a rag soaked in disinfectant. That was foul. Your lordship, I must commend your fearlessness and insight. Apologize for my weakness of spirit. A shameful fear prevented me from doing my duty. It will not happen again. Shame on you, Captain. An officer's duty is to be a support to the Lord Captain, not the other way around. If that burden is too great for you, you should consider resigning. Speak plainly, veteran to veteran. A modicum of sympathy is buried deep in the Seneschal's ruthless words. Someone tried to conceal the victim's identity and cause of death. Klein takes a closer look at the precise wounds you indicated, almost undetectable beneath the mutilation, I should say. You have a keen eye, your lordship. Why would someone do that? And leave the body in plain sight? Could have just disposed of it. Must be something more to this whole bloody business. Bloody business. Turn your attention to the floor around the corpse. There's no splatter, no gobs of flesh, no bloody footprints fortuitously trailing to the dark. Yet, you know, there's no way to butcher a corpse like that without getting dirty at all. Someone stuffed a feather down the skeleton. Well spotted, your lordship. No doubt you have already reached the same conclusion, but I'll state it for the official record. Vile mutants do not make allusions to saints, so someone versed in the creed. There's a tattoo on his neck right here. That's a symbol of a pipe warden clan that maintains the sewer systems. SP stands for Senior Pipe Warden, followed by his identification number. Ginevri is working on the log work cogitator. She can use it to learn the victim's name from his number. The cogitator is in the nearest maintenance room. I expect greater professionalism from you in the future. Forster dips his head deferentially. You have been a model of fearlessness and competence. I will aspire to follow your example. So the nearest maintenance room. Probably in here.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment. Over there!
Huh.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
There you go. Over there. But trail leads this way, I think.
I did it?
Someone has shoved a tattered and bloodied synth into the vent. Such garments are included in every enforcer's uniform. And what did that say? I don't know. That did something, though. I believe. Like,
There will be no peace in my wake.
back to our biggest fan. You're obstructing the investigation, esteemed tech priest, and require information stored by this machine spirit. If you refuse to cooperate. Petition rejected. A malady has befallen the machine spirit of the honored master cogitator Iota IIIB, I think that's how you say it, or IB. Unauthorized anguish will worsen its condition and impede treatment. I will not stand for such acts of brutality against the Great Elder. I'll show you brutality, you blasted cog. What's going on here? Greatly esteemed tech priest Androveda Phi does not seem to realize the importance of investigative action and refuses to grant anyone access to the master cogitator. Androveda's Echidendrites creak as they bow before you. Exalted ruler of the vessel, I mean not to harm, but to protect. I merely care for the machine spirit's health. It's fallen ill of late. And its temper is worse than ever. If the laywoman starts torturing it now, the venerable spirit may take offense and leave us forever, taking the logs of the lay people's toils with it. This must be prevented. The statement is true. Incident catalog on this vessel contains no less than 12 instances I can read of grievous loss of data due to disrespect shown to the machine spirit by unauthorized units. Why do you need the cogitator? The work logs are on it. They might contain important information that will lead us to our suspect. Androveda's fox explodes with a furious Benheric roar. This woman does not even know what she intended to inquire of the Blessed Elder. Blasphemous disrespect. We do need to see that cogitator, though. Ruler of the vessel, why do you insist on interrogating an elderly soul when it is in such a miserable state? You are making a mockery of the Omnicized tenets and privileges of the priesthood of Mars. What if I ask you really nicely? Access privilege granted, and reserve the prerogative to interrupt the interrogation the moment I detect the slightest threat to the machine spirit. As you approach, the lumens on the Master Cogitator's bulky hull light up peevishly, and the cooling filters breathe an exasperated sigh. The machine spirit appears to be in a rotten mood. In the name of upholding the blessed axiomatics, I am initiating the accompanying tech service. Pascal's mechadendries writhe like snakes in a sacred dance. One of them reverentially docks with the cogitator's data port. I can read. O calculating machine spirit, blessed in omniscience, luminous in the darkness of ignorance, may the regalia be revealed, may the prayers of access be said, may these restrictive circuits be removed. Cogitator lets out a serene sigh of dust from its ventilation grate. I have permission to use you. After an unnecessarily long verification process, a cogitator recognizes the possibility that you may indeed be the ship's Lord Captain. A string of technolingua on the vid screen tells you that you may now input your request. I need the logs of the ship workers. Beside itself with anger, the cogitator sprays you with sparks as its vid screen dims and flickers. You hear a spiteful whir, and you find yourself staring at an incomprehensible mess of symbols. Apparently, the spirit refuses to comply on account of some blocker A403. Oh, the spirit is truly unwell. Why else would the blocker A403 prevent it from sharing such data, especially after a log ritual of greeting? Observing the critical distortion of the sacred code, initiating the sacraments of hibernation and anointing of the holy machine's data cards. Turn it off, and then back on again. O Deus Mechanicus, bestow an impulse of miraculous transformation upon the new spheric spirits of this machine. May it rise again from its sacred data dream, I can read. The unction, as well as the short breather, have done wonders for the old spirit's disposition. Mollified, it wipes the data blocker from the vid screen and agrees to indulge your inquiries. So what was wrong with you? You managed to find the right string of tech commands. The grunt cogitator starts whining on about its woes. Just as today's watch began, someone disturbed its data tree, used some trickery to rob it of its data, then befuddled its elderly mind and instructed it to deny access to anyone else. Registering a Category 3 actor sacrilege, resulting in a Category Epsilon Quadro transgressive scenario. Requesting the inclusion of the officer in the registry of wanted entities for the purpose of expletive disposal. Expiative disposal. So about SP-24601. After mulling over your question for a while, Spirit recalls that the number is assigned to a senior pipe warden by the name of Orto. This Orto and his partner spent the last watch servicing Valve 27B, which supplies water to the rogue trader's chambers. After finishing up the maintenance, only Orto's partner reported in. That's the same valve that was used to pump blood into the bath chamber. This must be where they killed Orto before dragging his corpse onto the deck. What's this about a partner? The first cogitator feigns ignorance out of spite, pretending not to recognize your request. But after 4 more attempts, the spirit takes pity on you. Orto's partner is Senior Pipe Warden Gwendon, number SP-26855. Gwendon has not reported for duty since the incident. We have our suspect. Looks like Gwendon killed his fellow worker and put on this entire bloody spectacle. Rotzko is the one responsible for arresting the rabbles. He'll be your best candidate for shedding some light on this Gwendon character. The honored machine spirit is tired, cannot bear any more of this torture. See that you got what you came for. So would ask that you let the elderly have their rest. Activating deep hibernation protocol. The scale's mechadendrite disconnects from the master couch to your static port in a respectful motion. The trill of inherent prayers lulls the elderly spirit's fading lumens. May the Omnisci bless this machine with healing slumber, that the sacred unity of its anode and cathode may be purified and shine once more. Okay. To Rothko. I'm so slow, apparently. Like, I know you guys got a head start, but I thought you kind of... whatever. I'm not seeing... oh, wait, no, don't. Wait. What's this?
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
That'll probably make itself known soon. Rothko looks on with indifference as his people use their batons and legs to interrogate the serfs. Upon noticing you, he nods curtly. Your lordship? How fair is the interrogation? Satisfactory. We are maintaining fear and respect among the rabble. As we go through our suspects, we will find the culprit soon. I swear on my rank. Do you know a Gwendon? Gwendon. Yes, we have him here. He's waiting his turn. We'll bring him over at once. I've been informed of your decision to question one of the suspects, Lord Captain. Consider it my duty to be present for the interrogation so that I may ensure your safety. You'll be back in like half an hour, I see. Take your time. Don't worry about it. Are you Gwendon? Gwendon, I can't help but notice you don't have a portrait. Before you stands a gaunt man in work clothes. His face is swollen from the bruises, and several of his fingers are broken and sticking out at odd angles. He stares vacantly into the distance with watery eyes. I thought you said he was still waiting his turn. Why is he beaten? Those are merely the preliminary measures before the interrogation begins in earnest, your lordship. The suspect becomes more inclined to speak if you give them the baton first. Standard procedure. I think that's been proven otherwise in real life, but okay. We live 38,000 years in the future, so maybe science has changed since then. Start talking, you miserable wretch. Tried to kill the Lord Captain, didn't you? Rothko grabs the worker by the lapels. I don't know what that is. Gwendon's coat flies open, revealing crude occult symbols painted all over his body. What's this? Heretical brands? Cult scum? He yells, bearing the remains of his teeth. Yes, it was me. I tried to put a curse on the Lord Captain. Killed my partner in a wicked ritual, rubbed elbows with them demons, and course-sorted with them. I will carry out a dark plot and doom the Lord Captain for the glory of my almighty master. Burst into a fit of hysterical, theatrical laughing. His words, trying to paint them over with fake garish hues, but his aftertour carries with it too much black and gray. What is he up to accomplish with this? He has admitted to everything, the vermin. I have insisted, time and again, that the assassination attempt was carried out by one of Wojtawir's surviving henchmen, and I was right. Guess we weren't so thorough in cleaning them out as we thought. Sense corruption in Gwendon. He is untouched by the warp. Your gaze pierces him to his core, and you see his lips mouth a silent prayer to the Emperor. What does my background tell me? You have a shot? Yeah. You have a shot a good many soldiers who had given in to corruption. You know how it manifests itself, how it twists a person's body and mind. The only violation that this worker deserves to be shot for is an absence of intelligence. Does not even remotely resemble a crazed cultist. So, who is this dark and almighty patron of yours? Master Malachi the Dreadful. Him, yes. I don't remember hearing of such a demon before. What you do remember from reports is that the name of the foreman of the 5th Food Depot, also known as the Miser and Sadist, is Malachi Drek. How'd you kill your partner? Well, I grabbed myself a rusty saw and started hacking at him. Then I pulled out a dagger made from a virgin's bones and stabbed him. Oh, right, I also cursed him first. It was only right. None of the wounds on the victim's body could have been inflicted with a saw. There are no dagger wounds on him either. So what are those marks on you? Ah, these are my cultist marks so I can put curses on people and talk to demons. There's a finger at an uneven semicircle with 9 arrows coming out of it. This one's called the Hame of Terror, represents the 9 archdemons. Always pray to each one first thing in the morning. You're unfamiliar with this profane symbol. Okay, so why are you doing this for realsies? The man blenches and starts bawling. He gives up on his sinister theatrics and bobbles in the voice of a common worker. Forgive me, your lordship. I'm not Gwendon. I'm not a heretic. Yart's my name. I'm a laundryman. Please have mercy. Protect my family, that enforcer said. She'd throw them out of the airlock if I don't confess. She made me draw these unholy marks on myself. Avalor cast a significant glance at Sarbak's direction. Your enforcers have a knack for persuasion, Mr. Sarbak, but this is ridiculous. What enforcer? Name. Give me her name. Ginevri. Her name was Ginevri. Oh, I liked her. She liked me. Veiled heretic raises his hands to his face, and you see many purple bruises. They are older than the others by several hours. He was evidently beaten long and hard, and he would have been screaming the whole time. Someone must have witnessed it. Ginevri. Steely edge in Sarbak's voice causes everyone present to freeze, but you can also hear notes of bewilderment. We will deal with her later. I'll handle the search for Gwendon myself. But Captain, would you have us execute this demon worshipper? I am missing dogmatic points. Hang the heretic, even farcical symbols and mentions of the archenemy are capable of drawing corruption. It will be done. Captain, the evidence that you have collected is sufficient to apprehend the culprit. I'll report to you in the mess hall, and we shall bring the investigation to a close. How close am I to dogmatic 2? I just got dogmatic 1. What's that do? Plus 10% chance to not die when I die. Okay. And what do I get? A level 2. All critical hits inflict burning 10. 10, by the way. That's insane. Only in the first round, I see. Fire damage suffered by enemies and needs decreased by 1 for each rank. I see. Okay. We'll worry about that later. I have to go to the mess hall, they said? Yes. That would be probably here, I think. Yeah, she's gone. Well, Captain, the real pipe warden Gwendon has been found and is being escorted here as we speak. Are there any remaining questions you wish to address before we hear from Gwendon himself? Someone attempted to mislead our investigation. Undoubtedly. Let us go over the facts we have on the sabotage and compile them. The body of the deceased was mutilated after death. It is likely that the nature of the injuries would have proven very useful in the investigation, that the perpetrator concealed them for that very reason. Someone sabotaged the work log cogitator so it could be harder for us to find the victim's partner. It might have information valuable to the investigation. Instead of the murdered man's partner, we were given a fool, one who thoroughly incriminated himself first before admitting that Captain Ginevri put him up to it. Sarbeck glowers at Ginevri, and she pales in fear. Who was guarding the body? It was Ginevri. Klein reluctantly nods to his fellow courser. I relieved her when I came to inspect the corpse, which by then had already been cut up. Ginevri nervously adjusts her armor under Sarbeck's piercing gaze. The corpse was already looking like that when it came under my purview, but I could not get the name of the officer who discovered it. The deck was such a mess that I decided I would deal with it later. We found a bloody synth coat. Does everyone here have a coat? The rustle of synthetic fabric fills the room, while the enforcers show their coats, except Rothko shrugs complacently under the gaze of his comrades. I don't wear it. An enforcer must be able to withstand the cold, and the serfs treat synth coats as a sign of weakness. Behind the armor of infected indifference, his thoughts ooze grimy hues, like blood mixed with umber. It looks vile. Who had access to the cogitator? The tech priest did not let anyone near the cogitator. He even tried to prevent the enforcer's investigation. Ginevri, were you there the entire time? Yes, ma'am, since the start of the watch. I went there right after I handed the body over to Klein. The only time I stepped away was to retrieve the data slate from my quarters. I left a watchman, but he went missing. Most likely one of the officers did not realize he was on duty, sent him off on some errand, but I was only gone for a few minutes. Very convenient. Missing sentry, a data slate misplaced against regulations. Rodko drums his fingers on a holster on his belt, where his own data slate sits tightly nestled. I don't understand how I could have forgotten it. I always check my gear when I go on duty. So, Ginevri, do you have any defense against Yark? May have conducted his preliminary interrogation, like so many others. Rodko requested my assistance because of my experience in dealing with the rabble, but I swear that there's no truth to these accusations against me. Transcript says you conducted Yark's interrogation alone. Why is that? Because I can handle a single laundryman. I mean, it does seem like Rodko did this more than Ginevri. Like, Ginevri has more circumstantial evidence, I think the term would be. But Rodko has a lot more, I guess, less deniability about it. Sebek draws her auto pistol and points at Rodko, who appears entirely unperturbed. I'll give you one chance to retain your last shred of honor and confess. Sabotage the investigation. Why? Is it not obvious? To expose the conspiracy myself and to prove your incompetence to his lordship. To take the place I actually deserve. For years, I toiled for the good of the dynasty. When the former Master-at-Arms was killed, I was refused my promotion. Instead, they gave the permission to you, self-serving Sarbeck Nit. I guess a noble name means more than talent. When this crime occurred, I realized it was my chance to show what I was worth while you were busy dallying. Quickly learned the name of the suspect, diverted the course of the investigation, an easy enough task, and began looking for the real Gwendon. Had I found him in time, your permission would have already been mine, Jocasta. Simply listen to yourself. You will understand why they made me Master at Arms, Captain. I request permission to dispose of this refuse personally. I should be picking more dogmatic options, and I do get a thing for this. Did you really think you could deceive me, the most awesome person in the universe? Dismissive tone makes Rakiko flinch with indignation. I had every chance, but you were more shrewd than I expected. My little trick with the body did not work. Still don't know who was behind it all. But I've already figured it out. I hid Gwendon from you by damaging the cogitator and delivering you a fake. An idiot willing to incriminate himself out of fear. I even prepared a contingency plan in case he cracks by making sure he would blame someone else. Yeah, there are a couple slip-ups, but you must admit it was a solid attempt overall. I mean, yeah, if Abelard didn't tell me, like, hey, I found a thing. And if I didn't notice that the, like, search or investigate button showed up. Usually I don't check those unless they're a stat check. Why were you trying to frame Ginevri? A backup plan. You always need someone to blame if you make a mistake. Could have framed Klein, but that young Umstart was already galloping through the ranks too fast and was clearly aiming for my station. Besides, she and her thick-witted subordinates were always right where I wanted them to be. You don't seem to fear punishment. With all due respect, your lordship, I'm an enforcer. I have looked death in the eye, and I'll accept your punishment with dignity. Well, for your crimes as sabotage, slander, and heresy. I mean, yeah, I don't really care about that last thing. But you gotta die. That's how it goes. Took you a while. Marco tries to speak, but his words are cut off by a devastating blow to the jaw. Collapses to the ground, the Sarlacc raises them all again and delivers another blow, this time straight to his ribs. Stretches out the pleasure, slowly crushing his bones and savoring every scream, which he's done. Which finally allows the bloody mess that was once Rakiko to die where it lies. Takes care of the traitor. Now let's proceed with interrogating the pipe warden. Pipe Warden does his best to remain reverentially bowed, which paints a rather comical picture, given his formidable height and complexion. Lowers his head, tugging his beard. Senior Pipe Warden Gwendon, honored to serve. Lord Captain, I'm ready to confess to everything. And you're real, aren't you? I am, and I'm proud of it, Lord Captain. Pipe Warden's craft is hard work, but necessary. My number is SP26855. My work partner was the late Orto, number SP24601. I oversee the water supply systems of lower decks, sectors A3, K8, and R2. That includes valve 27B. There can be no mistake. I verified his identity myself. It has also been confirmed by the other workers. So, why did you do it? Did as a servant of death commanded. She said the Emperor gave the first spinner a sign that your lordship should be bathed in blood of poor Orto, my partner. And I was scared, so I obeyed. Telling me that all of that blood, the like probably what seemed like hundreds of gallons of blood, was from one guy? I don't believe that for a second. The first spinner? Are you talking about the Vizier of the Bloodspun Web? Yes, that's him. He leads the Death Cultists, the lot who worship the Emperor by killing. Spinners hunt down heretics, but sometimes they take the righteous lives too. Their service is mysterious, fervent, and bloody. If the Vizier ordered it, there must have been a reason. The Undying One must have revealed something to him that we are ignorant of. We'll get to this. Did you kill Orto? I didn't kill him, and I didn't know he was a mutant. Orto and I always got along, even if he wasn't much for talking. But then, Servant of Death came from the darkness, ended him quickly and harshly. Quickly but harshly. She bled him dry and put a black feather in his throat. Told me to pump blood into the pipes, and then she left. Wanted to confess, but I was afraid she'd come for me too if I did. And who do you mean by the Servant of Death? It's not someone I know, is it? Holy Slayer in black, crimson, and bone. In black and crimson and bone. Feared by all they are, quiet and merciless as death itself. Come from the shadows to kill because the Emperor commands them so. I've already met with the service of Bloodspun Web, Lord Captain. The grim procession is not one the upper decks will soon forget. Well, I wasn't asking. I thought you might be able to describe who it was, not what it was. Alright, let's hear his side of the story. As you will, Lord Captain. Your Lordship, if I may ask, what happens to me now? Never meant to anger you. Thought I was doing as the Emperor willed it, but here we are. I'm a simple man. I know pipes, and I know them a lot better than all this people business. My eyes aren't what they used to be, but I can still smell rust and metal, but not so much in people's thoughts. You can go, I don't care. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, your lordship. I'll serve you faithfully, and I'll never forget your mercy. The Vizier of the Bloodspun Web, lightly and silently, treads lightly and silently, as if his old, gaunt body has no weight at all. He whispers weakly, "The Sigmund willed to see me, and so I have come." Jocasta informed this man why he's here. Investigation has established that the Bloodspun Web orchestrated an attack on his lordship by means of pouring unholy blood into his bath. This affront, old man's murmur drowns out Starbuck's relentless voice. Then the Sigmund knows the truth, so it has done. For so I did will. What? So it was done, or so I did will. Okay, I understand. It's weird grammar, but I think it checks out. It's no affront, but a prophecy. From my hands divine, unsullied martyrs offered their souls and bodies into his imperishable embrace. I gazed into the red rivers of their smoldering lives, and I did see a roiling unclean standing the bays, reaching for an anointed lord of the Ark. In my apprentice's last sighs, I heard the Undying One's whisper. He bid me bathe the Damin in the blood of he who must go, and they who have been righteous. For this will shield the Damin, strengthen his body against the roiling unclean. I obeyed. Your laughter scraping against the inside of your head. The Emperor bid him, this old fool sacrificed his disciples to read their flesh, blood, and bones. He wants to see the corpse Emperor's revelations in the tangle of happenstance. He is so desperate that he invents omens for himself. So you say you did it because God said so. I speak, move, and draw breath because he will so. I defy not the Undying One, neither in death that gives and takes, nor in my living existence. Cabelli, you're kind of an accomplice, what do you gotta say? When I saw the wounds made by the hand of a fellow believer, I guessed. But the Vizier chose not to warn you, so it was not my place to do so either. If there had been a plot against you and a knife aimed at you, I would have given you some sign. If the Vizier means you no harm, he's your servant. Where your other subjects' threads are clear and straight, his lie in the shadows of hints and secrets. Trust him as I do. What if you were wrong? See your lips curl into a smile. I held the cards of his tarot, washed in the blood of the righteous. Make no mistakes, and neither does he send false visions. Only mortals err, and they who read the signs. Only mortals err, they who read the signs, they who interpret. Okay. So you're saying you could have been wrong. Like, Mr. Emperor isn't, according to you. But you reading his visions could have been. Better. Who was the guy you killed? I know not. Only heard the name, and I knew he must go. Listens to the empty space above his shoulder and nods. Yes, we need no more knowledge. We need no more knowledge than that. What do you mean by roiling unclean? He did not reveal, but it is corruption itself that offends him. It tastes as sweet as fetid waters in old pipes. Its promises are the deception of an enforcer's smile. Its face is elusive. Jocasta, what do you got? Situation is clear, your lordship. The Emperor has sent us a portent. For protector of mankind guides the hands of his holy servants to guard us and warn us of hidden threats. Is it a coincidence that the victim was a mutant? Officers around you keep a respectful silence, but you can tell by their faint smiles that they find the very idea of doubting the Emperor's providence absurd. Well, I can't just let this go if you're just going to be doing this. Before you can finish your sentence, a curved dagger appears in the vizier's hand. There's a flash of steel in the air, and 5 silver fingers lay at your feet. He says, his voice unfaltering, "If this displeased you, you are guilty." His parchment like skin grows even paler. He carefully bandages his maimed hand and then bows his head low. "It is disgraceful for me to bow before you, Domin. I beg for you to accept the cult's apologies. My apologies. I am ashamed. Be that as it may, we have hit a dead end. We hoped that by exposing the culprits would lead us to the aberration's lair." Well, if he's so sorry to cut off all his fingers, surely he's sorry enough to do the rest of the work for us. A new spinner, a brave warrior from the Domin circle, can find the roots of the unclean, where it can appear as human and act as human. Only its thoughts betray its foul nature, only its thoughts are never human. Wise. Anxious silence falls on the moment Sarbek says this one word, shown as his eyes. It is unclean thoughts we need to find. Very well. Weiss, find them. Just how, no matter how badly he wishes that the rest of us forgot about it. Veni Zachary is a fearsome hunter. When he hunts, the flagship wails. When he thinks, my teeth creak. I feel pain, as if I am young again. This power is great indeed. We can hunt down our prey. How can that guy help us? The Azim Zachary Weiss can perform the ritual of thought reading. This practice lets him do a cursory examination of the minds of thousands of people in search of certain individuals. A ritual as rare as it is dangerous. Only someone as versed as Master Weiss can accomplish such a feat. Has he done it before? Once, Lady Theodora made use of his services to expose spies on board, who apparently had been in the employ of Lord Inquisitor Calvazar. It doesn't seem unanimous. I would say that the one least eager will be Master Wise himself. Last time, his efforts caused some severe warp manifestations. The ritual truly is perilous. Not to put too fine a point on it, Weiss nearly destroyed the ship back then. Incidentally, he had given us multiple warnings that it could happen. Lady Theodore ignored him, and we reaped the results. Why do I get the feeling I know what'll happen next? You back? Nah, it's been in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. Alright. It's nice to have you back. I already have Idra. She can do it. Vizier listens intently, not to the words of anyone present, but rather to someone invisible and inaudible. I hear you, yes? Which is weak. Death whispers of many names that it will claim if she is allowed. Names of whose time to be erased is not now. So I can't say yes or no. Alright, Jocasta, I think we're done here, apparently. My duty will be done when the threat is eliminated. I'll brief the enforcers that you will consult Choirmaster Wise, said Captain. Kinda weird I forgot about him. He had a portrait and everything. He had lightning eyes. I can see nothing wrong with trying to destroy the ship again. Yeah, it almost killed Theodora, but I'm not Theodora. Ah, there we go. Talk to Choirmaster Wise. Where is he? Who's the lettered forest? I see. Where is he? Astropathic Chapel. I see. Alrighty. Out one loading screen, into another. Alright. Where is he? Pascal, what's this?
How fascinating. To me, the Immaterium is made of colors. But to the astropaths who dwell in this chapel, it is music.
My frame rate is in danger, I can feel it. It's fine for now, but no matter. Wrong button. Doesn't seem like anything else. Hello, Zachary, the biggest organ ever. Choirmaster Wise turns towards you long before you reach him. Chill runs down your spine, as if someone were watching you from inside your own being. 35%. Why? I have Acacia, right? Okay, whatever. Strange sensation passes suddenly as it arises. Choirmaster shakes his head. I know why you are here, your lordship, and with all due respect, I am asking you to reconsider. I'm the boss. I decide what goes on and what doesn't. Choirmaster makes a wry face as though you have caught him doing something reprehensible. Apologies, your lordship, it was force of habit. I swear I will never again intrude on your mind's peace without permission. Your predecessor came to me with the same orders once. Nothing good came of it. Believe me, Lord Captain, when I say a mountain of corpses was the least of the problems we faced that time. So you've done this before? I know that, but I'll hear your account. Many years ago, it's a time when Lady Theodora had become anxious. Perhaps the Inquisitor's interest in her affairs adversely affected her, shall we say, trust in her own subjects. She was expecting betrayal, and eventually her paranoia brought her to me. I performed the ritual, but the choir ceased to exist. Remember that day, Lord Captain? When we arrived at the chapel, there was blood and human remains everywhere. That was the least of the terrifying things we saw there. So, what exactly is this ritual? It takes the entire choir's power to invade such a prodigious number of minds at once. I weave their voices into a chord and steer it into the murky sea of other people's souls. Together, we read tens of thousands of thoughts, emotions, and intents, looking for the thing we are after. The seed of corruption you are interested in. Well, that doesn't sound so bad. Lord Captain, you know the proverb about staring too long into the abyss. What you are asking for is tantamount to plunging the entire choir into that abyss. A ritual like that will require incredible focus from each of its participants. It will take a single careless thought, a single glance in the wrong direction, for the weight's back to be lost, human minds fusing into one another, vitrified organs inside still living bodies. Perverse fantasies manifesting in flesh. Nothing will stop the horrors of the warp from spreading all over the ship in the blink of an eye. Even if I agreed, it would be impossible. I would need a second powerful telepath as a defender to shield my mind. The last time my best apprentice, Adeline, did that, she is no longer with us. She was exceptionally talented, rivaling even myself. Now I know of only one psyker in the entire expanse who is her equal. He is bound to the service of one of House Winterskill's planetary governors, thus unavailable to us, which makes your dangerous enterprise an impossibility. How bad was it? Worse than you can imagine, your lordship. It only took a fraction of a second lingering inside another mind for the astropaths to lose control of their own. The affliction spread down the chain like fire. No one was spared. The minds of my charges could not withstand the tension. Their consciousness were caught in a vortex of alien thoughts. Fortunate ones died at once, as for the rest. So, is that why you're blindfolded? Managed to send out a call for help and did my best to contain the phantoms on my own before Lady Theodora arrived. I was the only survivor out of the entire choir. The leadership allowed me to spend a month in a secluded cell upon whose floor and walls I drew the most powerful protective hexagrams I knew. I was crushed, I was broken, and worst of all, I was afraid. Afraid of meeting the same fate as Adeline and my other apprentices. An astropath must never be afraid, your lordship. When he yields to fear, dies, and dooms those around him. So, how did we get the choir back? Lady Theodora bombarded the Adeptus Administratum for months with requests to provide her with a new astropathic choir. In the end, new voices did fill the chapel. They were never told what happened to the previous choir, but they have inklings. And I prayed to the God Emperor that they never find out the details of that tragedy. So, how is it possible? It's not heresy, but it's indeed a dangerous tool that will only lead to a mighty hand. At that time, things were going all too well. Fire was many-voiced like never before. Adeline, my other talented apprentice, somehow sounded louder than the rest of the astropaths in all the expanse. We were strong and confident enough to take a bold gamble, and we lost. So, it failed? Question mark? I did find it, but the price. Yes, Lady Theodora's got the name she wanted, but it wasn't worth it. The tragedy has remained a secret hidden within the chapel. But we were a hair's breadth away from it becoming an epitaph inscribed on the ships and the remains. You blame Theodora, but technically, it was your fault. Weiss falls silent for a few seconds, his face lowered toward the floor, stands trembling. You are right. I do not absolve myself of my own guilt. May this punishment strike me if I forget about it for even a moment. Okay, so I have to go to Winterscale then? It's a harsh truth, your lordship. It must not be done. So we can find a psyker for you. And who is it? Primus' smile, though courteous, seems ever so slightly sarcastic. I'm sure Heinrichs can do it if he were still in the party. I'm sure I could do it if I were a psyker. That'd be fun. How about Idris? Absolutely not. First time you've ever heard the choir master raise his voice. She's a witch, an abomination. She'll only make the situation worse. The beasts of the warp will sense her heresy-prone soul and descend upon us in droves. What if I made you do it anyway? I'm the boss. You have signed our death sentence. As his anger almost seems to ignite his otherworldly gaze, making it burn bright through you. However, his face does not stay contorted with fury for long. There's a distinct coldness to his voice as he says, "Well, your lordship, bring your witch here." Why, the abyss will do so much more than stare at us today. We'll be throwing stones into it and begging it to devour us. The choir master speaks the last few words with a bitter smirk to the condemned man who has just been told of the day of his hanging. This is a good decision. Where was Jay? Peek behind the door and meet those who are so anxious to see us. The temperature inside the chapel is dropping. Every breath turns into a cloud of vapor. Astropath's resonant voices blend together, following the pattern of the melody inside the hall. Every now and then, the muffled moans are heard coming from the thrones of the junior astropaths. The Materium is restless. Kessie's voice sounds stifled, as if she is fighting for air. The colors are darkening. No, they are beginning to boil. You hear an interloping voice in your head, like an echo of a distant echo. Your lordship, I sense strangeness. Non-minds. They do not seem human-like. How strange. Consider insects, parasites. You cannot read them. That's wrong. Look. Oh. Dark veil clouds your vision, only to be succeeded by a blinding light in a moment later. Oh, I passed the check this time, I see. I don't have Cassie in the party, I guess. Great whiteness is the ship with its multitude of minds, of which you are one. Shadow of utter nothingness winds its way across the blinding white. Your choir master's voice, coming from the distance, but cannot make out a single word. Gaze slides along an iridescent thread that has been crossed in the nothingness. The proper now. Something shining is towering behind it. Golden giant frozen in place like a statue. Sudden jolts of fear distracts you from that image. Thus turn back toward the nothingness and its kaleidoscope of absences. No color, no emotion, no thought. In its further steps, there is something crawling. Willpower, I believe in you. Yeah. Your resolve is firm and your mind and soul unflinching. Nothingness has no power over you. Your eyes follow the thread toward the golden giants. It's not until you get close that you realize that the radiant image is a lie. The glint flakes away. Guilt flakes away. And a stately body is twisted out of shape as its limbs grow extra joints, mutilating the marvelous figure. Beastly fanged face with a repulsive worm-like fang turns to you. Its eyes, burning with nothingness, penetrate your soul. Thoughts, secrets, wishes, goals, nothing spared as the abomination rummages inside you like a predator gutting its kill. Choir master's voice sounds inside your mind. Cannot see them. I cannot read their minds. I cannot see into their lair. I see only images, fragmented and sinister. Forgive me, Lord Captain, but we took this risk in vain. So are you just failing, or are they deliberately stopping you? Not sorcery, something else. I've never encountered minds like this before. Something about them is wrong. Do it anyway. It's no use, I cannot. Nothingness crackles and croaks. I see you. Assumes a vague shape, man shriveled up by age and infirmity. His eyes alight with an alien purple flame. You have been looking for me. Huh. Well, that's good. You sense the attention of something else, something beyond this entity. Ruinous powers, which has made your soul marked as it is by the curse of the warp, more vulnerable than ever. You feel the demons clawing at the thin veil, clunkering to reach you. Okay, well now I have all of hell trying to get to me. Blind man, and clad in green, appears between you and the croaking nothingness, shielding you. What manner of abomination are you? Cannot sense you. You are not of the warp. What is your twisted nature? Cannot sense you either, but I know you. For you are growing to seek me out. My ears are everywhere. I was ready. Age-worn voice is like a deep wail, echoed by a throng of smaller voices. Civilizations and star clusters lie buried at the bottom of the being's pale eyes, which are aflame with hunger. Your mind feels cramped inside your skull, and you can hear the bone creaking. So did it work? No, this is not my ritual. Panic rings in the choir master's voice inside your mind. This is his spell, an invasion of our minds. While I was seeking it with my power, it found us with its own. I cannot stop it. I cannot force it out of our heads. Well, I'll fight it then. How? I cannot sense it. I cannot... You are my prey. You know, in hindsight, this may have been a bit unnecessary.
Let us ride!
Pardon? We got portal warlocks. Protect the choir master. Ooh, it's a defense mission. Those are fun. When can I play the game? This is a lie, a lie. Those aren't my paths, they are my lives. There's only one me. The real me. Go away. I feel like I'm doing this with a little less than full party because I don't have Idra. She's done so. Maybe I can fix it. Alright, Pascal. You are going to go over here. Thaddeus. Is that a name? Or is that... I don't know. No matter. Oh, that was sick. Abelard, you're gonna go also over there. Pascal, you're gonna go over here. Pass, also over here. Tabella. Guess it doesn't super matter. You can get further on this side. Am I supposed to kill these guys? No matter. Oh, I see. They're the past guys. Okay. Well, first,
as the
Here.
tactical imperative dictates.
Do that. Put the front lines right there. Put the rear about
The
there.
Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Put
The order is contrary to dogmatic protocols.
stronghold there.
My
Stronghold
vow
there.
is to serve.
Do we have like a head guy we gotta kill? Like a stronger one? Not particularly. That's okay. That'd be perfect if we could shoot there. Can shoot here though.
Feel cold.
Can't do any more. What happens if I do this? I didn't realize that's how it worked. I thought it would just auto move everyone within 15 cells. No matter, I suppose. Adeline, you're probably the scariest because you were named before this fight. That's your armor. Your armor's 55. That's upsetting.
The scriptural prognosis
I'm used to
is favorable.
so much more than that. Okay. Also do this.
Request approved.
They who discern the future on the battlefield. I know what is to come.
I feel nothing. Fear nothing.
There is movement in the Empyrean.
Alright. So, all I need to do is move here, then buff yourself.
What? No.
Okay, move there. Now buff yourself.
What if?
Do a good old... Well, actually. Use Reckless because it costs 0 for some reason. Now kill both these guys.
Momentum.
I did something. Always believed in yourself, not in him. He disbelieved in you too. Okay, whatever you say, dude.
Let's see.
The
That
Weaver
was-
is called to me.
Supposed to kill you. Oh well, if you insist.
A wicked thought. A genius at work. Fate claims another one.
That's all the Ghost Idris did. I kind of half thought that would bring regular Idra back to life. He's probably not fully dead. Let's move here.
Let's see.
Sure.
Schemes within
Just use
schemes.
up all our AP because why not?
What if... A wicked thought. Another stroke of genius!
Alright. Kill you.
A predictable downfall. Shattered foes in my
And
wake.
you.
A
And you.
genius at work.
Let's read all this. Warned you that the ritual was a mistake, and for that you turned me into a monster. You failed even that, you miserable fool. You're useless as a mentor. It's Adeline. All I want to do is help us trying to save you. You want to be done to me. I followed you every word you said. If only had the foresight to defy you at that fateful moment. Useless as a mentor, you failed. Failure merely confirmed my expectations. You should have known your place. Well, that's not very nice. So, what do I do about these portals? Probably have to kill all of the name. Yeah.
A wicked thought.
Soaking power, killing me to June's hit. So, you become pathetic. They said you were destined for greatness, but you've chosen to wallow in self-pity and lies. And now we have a boss. Kind of. He doesn't have that much more HP.
Step by step, I lead.
Yeah. Oh. Now he's even stronger. Used up all my AB. Well, I'll move right there, I guess. And then, of course, you get a turn immediately. Alright, Cass, I would like you.
Step aside. The navigator is coming.
Buff Sig. Actually, does this give him extra health because it gives him extra toughness? Extra strength, I mean. Let's see, got 202. That's already a thing for...
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
It does give him extra strength. Gives him 8 whole extra strength.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
What if? Schemes with that. Let the bodies pile.
Well, that was easy. Firemaster. Oh, nice. Firemaster awakens with a sharp breath. Well, Captain, we are still alive. God Emperor has protected us this time, but curses, did I not warn you? Old man shakes his head dolefully. His pale fingers are clutching the equila adorning the belt. Moment's silence, then words of prayer stream from his lips in a monotone, like a quiet lament. Dirge, perhaps for the departed. A dirge for the departed. Bitter confession, when he continued speaking, his voice was full of strength. Yet, we escaped disaster. Warp did not take our souls, and there were far fewer casualties this time. And we were doubly fortunate, given the vulnerability we revealed in Mistress Class's soul. Nearly became the latest chilling legend of the Cronus Expanse. Ghostly vessel in whose groaning bays roam unique, but unquiet souls. So what just happened? That thing took the shape of an old man and attacked me. Don't know what it is, but it's neither human nor psychic. Something else. Its power is foreign and inimical to time. To me, I promise I can read. Just like a shadow, it obscures shine of the Mitrium's chaotic energies. I was unable to read the abomination's thoughts. It seemed to find me no less strange. It seemed to find me no less strange than how strange it was to me. Thus it attacked for any strangeness as a threat. It had clearly been warned that it would be performing a dangerous ritual, that we would be vulnerable, so it sought to sabotage us by attacking my mind. My mind almost got us killed. You still managed to do what I asked you to, though? No, your lordship. Ritual proved incapable of extracting anything of value. This evil chose to reveal itself in attack. Our enemy is confident and bold, so it did not hide. It struck first. Suspiciously brazen. So those were the old psychers, right? The insidious spawn thrive on confounding one's reason. They don the faces of those I once held dear, my apprentices, all of whom perished. Previous time I perform this ritual. They have haunted me ever since. My dreams and the warp everywhere. The Materium's abominations who devoured their souls have been tormenting me with shame and regrets. And now they have come for my sanity as well. The choir master. Okay, I was gonna be upset if it made me do that check again. Choir master speaks of his fallen students. There's lingering pain in his voice. His words reflect more than just a terrible memory. They're heavy with the bitterness of personal loss, or of guilt that eats away at the soul. So who was that old guy? Even if he wasn't one we were looking for, there was nothing more chilling we could have possibly found. An inhuman thing in human form. True sacrilege against the Emperor. Its mind is strange, like an insect's or parasite's, but I saw images in the minds of those around it. Currents of energy, a blue glow. Clinging in metal. Could be a plasma drive chambers. The plasma drive chambers. Just where I would start searching for signs of corruption. Worm tormenting a star. Wise touches cheek, which is smeared with blood that is trickling from under his blindfold. He uses the stench to sketch. He uses the blood to sketch a perfunctory image I can read. Many-beamed star with a fat, fanged creature coiled in front of it, resembling either a larva or a serpent. The longer you listen to Wise, the more convinced you become of the warp manifestation not caused by the conniving of the ruinous powers, but by the efforts made to discover an incredibly alien mind. Such an unnatural mind could belong to a dangerous Xenos. Are you familiar with this symbol? No. Could be the emblem of some cult on this ship, but I seldom leave the chapel, and have never come across it before. I'm gonna go to the plasma drive chambers myself, because I'm the one. I spent $30 on the story. I'm gonna be the main character, you know? I'm gonna find the old guy and I'm gonna have a talk with him. Sacrifice some of the soundness of our minds to the Immaterium today, but it was not in vain, and it will help your lordship. He winces in pain. Still cannot believe we survived this. My Solian clenches his hand, and a cloud of frost rises from it, revealing his Aquila, now bound in purple psychic ice. He whispers, "The Immaterium has touched it, holy symbol of the protector of mankind." Pauses, and adds in a gloomy voice, "Do not know if this is a symbol of our victory over the horrors of the warp, trophy claimed in battle, or a grim portent left by the wicked spawn of the Sea of Souls." And the wearer suffers a critical hit. No, that's not good. It's not very good. I'm not gonna use it. How's it scale? Willpower. Huh. Granted, this is my willpower with all the buffs. Maybe it would be useful on Cass if she doesn't have anything else on. It's a symbol of my victory. Give it to me if you're unable to see this inspiring trophy for what it is. If it can shake your lordship's spirit, may this Aquila bring you good fortune. I will have a new one delivered to me immediately. Looks at the Aquila Sorrow. If only everything in that the Irrium takes away from us was so easy to replace. Well, do you want this? Yes? Maybe. How about you, Idra? Cass? You should have this. Wait, what? Yeah, you should have this. Because if you ever do get crit, it's probably not going to happen, but if it does happen, you know, you're never gonna get hit anyway. Take that one. And perception. Okay. So now we go to the plasma drive chambers.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Yeah, nothing else. How close are we to leveling? About 3/4. A little less. Plasma drive chambers. Get out of here, Idra. Get in here, Isaac. Frost buddy, what kind of insinuation is that? Installation is that supposed to be? Kill us? Matthias will drag me back from the beyond grave just to give me an earful. Scrap this and start again. I will double check it. I figured I'd have a bit of time, but I didn't realize I'd have that much time. What Captain? Light from the Infernus Master's CO stick reveals his surprised but amiable expression. And slip, split, I can read. And a fresh bruise is blossoming on his cheekbone. Well, Captain, it's good to see you in this compartment. Are you out on a stroll, taking in the sights of your domain? The blue glow of plasma is especially striking this time of the watch. Shifting Foreman Naish? That's how you say it? Niji? I'm gonna say Naish. You're the most mawkish Infernus I've ever met, Master Montag. Burly man in coveralls furrows his bushy eyebrows. Sparse hair stands on end. Your lordship, welcome. Shift Foreman Naish, in charge of the section. If you need anything, I'm here to help. So who punched you? A little gift to remember the enforcers by. Had a small disagreement. But they had the right to beat and starve innocent people investigating the incident in your lordship's bath chamber. Thought their noses were too straight and they had too many teeth, so we politely exchanged opinions. I like you. An enforcer's baton is pretty sturdy, but not as thick as the skull of a hard-boiled Infernus. After sick at Jocasta, her officers earned their rations. Clobber you good. So what exactly are you doing here? Carrying out a routine drive inspection. Regulations require scheduled checks to make sure the installation isn't weakened, and the sensors haven't been tampered with, and the reactor isn't about to blow anytime soon. This is business as usual. It's strange if the senior officer is conducting the inspection alone. According to the regulations, there should be an entire squad of Inferni. Personal presence of the Infernus Master is necessary only in emergencies. So why don't you try the truth this time? Found me out, have you? You see what Winkin pulls on his CO stick. Not really here about the reactor. Heard a rumor that you'd gone to investigate the plasma drive chambers, so I thought I'd make sure everything went smoothly. The lordship is accustomed to associating with people of your rank, or officers at the very least. But here, this place is home to the Voidfarers with simpler manners. This clan customs may be unfamiliar to you. The Voidfarer of simpler manners furrows his brows. Customs are decent ones, Master Montag. I'd rather boil myself in plasma than let anything happen to the Void Captain. No offense, Naish, but if... or Nish? How did I say his name? Naish. That sounds good. But if you can find even 3 people in this bay who can give a report without turning the air blue, I'll gladly admit I was wrong. Rex grins at the now silent Naish. You're a good bunch. I'd hate to see you insult his lordship with some foolishness and not even realize it. Sure, I'll bring you. Oh, I'll have you. Just keeping an eye on your lordship. Feel free to ask old Nige any questions you may have. He knows the plasma drive chambers like the back of his hand. That's right, your lordship. If something isn't to your liking or you find anything suspicious, come to me at once. Have you ever seen a symbol that looks like a servant in front of a serpent? Not a servant. A serpent in front of a star. Somebody keeps daubing it on the equipment and bulkheads. If I find the scoundrels, I'll tear their hands off and send them for servitorization. Shift foreman frowns. This is some kind of sedition. Didn't know. If you see one of these, let me know. I'll try to find these artists. He throws his EO stick back and forth. Thinking, I hit my mouse. I've also seen it on some bulkheads, crates, doors. Just assumed it was the mark of some small clan. Many void shipmen mark their workplaces with family symbols. Tell me about yourself, Foreman. I'm a voidsman, your lordship. Grew up on Footfall, joined the crew at 14. Spent my whole life in this bay. Raised no family and made no fortune, but I've climbed my way up to the ranks. Don't know anything but my trade in this compartment. I am my trade in this compartment, oh Captain. Speaking about this compartment, we are proud of our chambers. Power feeds the ship's main engine from here. There are other drives on the ship, but ours is the mightiest. That's to say, we do important work. Working with plasma is dangerous, but we have a good crew, not too many incidents. Esteemed tech priests are satisfied with us. Machine spirits are all working as they should. Infer and I don't complain about us either. Fix cracks in the reactor vessel in time, and we fix leaks. Alright, I'm gonna do what I need to do. This place is already decently mapped out. What am I doing here? I'm just looking around. Okay. So if I were a thing, I guess I just walk around and maybe there's gonna be something to look at.
They will see. Oh yes, indeed. They all will see.
What's that? What's this do? Pitiful clinking sound, Surtur's claws stalks with the mechanism and begins to perform the necessary manipulations. Same thing. Okay. Maybe that does something.
I'm still new to the art of exploring.
Pardon me. Received, need more. Cache contained a cryptic note. No. Okay, if I find him, I'll consider talking to him. Anything?
Patience!
I can't go.
My nerves are frayed!
I can't say no to loot. Even if it doesn't have anything.
What curiosity unveils itself
This
before
one, though,
me?
also has nothing. Behind my camera, though. Also has nothing. You'll have to see it. If I were... I haven't checked over here. You're not helpful. Looks like I've looked most everywhere. So,
In this
unless we can
tapestry
get up
of
there.
the world, I...
Actually, over here, maybe. there was... Oh, there's this. I didn't see it. Make out a faded symbol on one of the tiles. Serpent and a star. Appears to be someone's stash behind it. The stash has long been abandoned. Okay. That's not where I wanted to be. There's a lift thing I can call, I think.
I am registering 137 violations of the Catechism of Maintenance and Operation here. Initializing enumeration. 1. Keep the through thread as your augmented eye.
Cool. What does this do? Does it do anything? Huh. That's weird. Enemies with the wearer's attack suffer -4 dodge. That's that scale. 2 times ints. Whereas ranged attacks inflict 8 levels of bleed. That could be good on... How does that scale on cast? 0 bleeding, because your armor penetration. Is not listed. Well, I guess it'd be here. Maybe you would want that. You do that sometimes. Yeah. You inflict 11 levels of bleed. That's fun. That's the scale again? I thought it was intelligence. Armor penetration. I guess that's scaling off the axe and not the... Maybe it's just whichever one's higher. And I still don't know how you're able to two-handed weapons. How do you do that? I think it's innate to you. Choose one of the augmentation. I have no idea. I guess it doesn't really matter. I beat the game without knowing. I didn't even realize I was trying to... No man. Oh, he's right there. Let's quick save. It shouldn't take that long. Okay. I have obtained information. I think you found someone's secret stash. What was it? Moldy Nutribar? Yo, few thrones? Workers often hide their belongings or banned items from the enforcers or covetous neighbors. I don't know how to say that word. Maybe someone marked their cache with a symbol to make it easier to find later. It's just what we need, more secret stashes. There's nothing forbidden in it. Forgive me, lordship, but voicemen are simple folk, and trying to wean them off. their grubby habits for years, but gift them with anything worth having, and all they want to do is hide it, hold it like a rat. Found this note. What is that? Nigel's thick eyebrows knit together angrily, and you almost think you see a power charge jolt across them. You've got smugglers on the loose. You'll also be hiding these strange messages. Have them all drawn and quartered on the turbine. Now I'll see what... No, I'd like to find out what they're smuggling. Mind if I take a look? Ryder takes a note, careful not to let any ash fall on it. Need more. More what? Whoever wrote it, they didn't want anyone who wasn't in the know to understand. Some caches, exchange messages is a good way to keep things hidden from the enforcers. So some workers procure intoxicants and other items they're not supposed to have. Has to be another cache somewhere nearby. If you ever use the same one for both the transfer and the correspondence, you never use the same one for both the transfer and the correspondence. It's too risky. He still shrugs. What? I never engaged in such business, I swear. Just heard how it's done. Okay, so I have missed something somewhere. Give the place another once over, I suppose. Hoping an awareness check kicks in. Guess I didn't go through here.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Any? Checked over there. We're just here. You're at a computer. Do you want to talk?
One step at a time amidst the madness.
Yeah, it could be somewhere around here. You're nearby. Wouldn't expect any of them to say anything, but I'm kind of running out of options. None of them have unique names, they're not on the map.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
I thought I had something for a second. Oh. Maybe I did. How goes the search, your lordship? I found a gun. Nigel holds the weapon as if it's going to bite him, sweat beating on his forehead. Machine spark, shake me. Homemade weapon assembled right in this compartment. Markings of the same as those of the local machine parts. It's a very serious matter. So someone is plotting a riot, secretly building our own arsenal from scavenged materials right under our noses. Einrich deftly examines the weapon. Interesting. Nice is right. Get the whole bay executed. This could get the bay executed. No wonder these scoundrels are so cautious. Well, we need to find whoever set up these caches. The foreman shrugs sheepishly. I said the truth. I'm no good at hunting rule breakers. It's not what I do. Give me the orders, and we'll do it. We'll set up an ambush. Stakeouts. Fishworm's thick fingers strip thoughtfully on his tool belt. These guys are smart. They'll notice the enforcers near the cache and stay out of sight. And your lordship would be spotted even quicker. Then we'll conduct a raid. Spook them, your lordship. By the time enforcers finish their search, all the rats will have scattered and covered the tracks. Then we'll use the Inferni. No one will suspect them. Clutching his fists until his knuckles cracks. Einrich resolutely says, "Will help. I have a couple people in mind. Tough lads. I'll get them there right away." I'm ready. Einrich smirks ominously. Throws the AO stick on the floor, puts it out with his foot. Consider the dirtbag caught, Sigmund. 5 hours later. Have you lost something, friend? Let's give you a hand. Get 'em, boys. Man kneeling before you is an ungainly build, stubborn jaw, and heavy gaze. Looks no different from any other worker in his compartment, except for the tattoo on his forearm. It's designed resembling a worm devouring a star. One of the Infernus workers is holding the Weber taken from the prisoner, exactly like the one that was in the cache. Master at Arms, ready to see Infernus sternly. The weapon, hand it over. What you saw, keep it to yourself. Forces out the words through clenched teeth. Cooperation with the enforcers will be noted. Let's take a look at this guy. Pigment on the tattoo looks fresh, standing out starkly against the color of his skin, which means that it's a very recent addition. You look closely and notice a pair of scars at the base of his neck, suspiciously reminiscent, almost of a healed bite. Reminiscent of an almost healed bite, not almost of a healed bite. Who's this guy? Shalf Galai, servant of the blessed life, Beta 2 Diligence. Low-ranking worker, easily replaceable. No apparent signs of mutation. Was anyone harmed? Thank you, your lordship. Not a scratch on us. Piece of work, right enough. There's no fuel compartment fire. Nothing more like a sparkling card stater. So the glares at him with visible jealousy, but Henrik just keeps grinning smugly. Well, you have anything to say for yourself, my good lad? Got nothing to say to you, heretic. This man called me a heretic? How dare he? I only have level 5. Choking through rage, Starbeck grabs the maul from her belt. Allow me, Lord Captain, please? Or me? It's instantly robbed him of his friendly charm. I'd be happy to oblige. Watch your tongue, peasant. You're not allowed to say things that are true. Terrorize me, torment me, gratify your rotten heart, heretic. Know the strength of a martyr spirit and come to fear it. Listener's eyes flash as he gives you an inviting, gave-toothed smile. His soul is pale, almost colorless, but alien hues have seeped into it, unthinkable and insane, and it came from without. I'm the heretic, am I? Prisoner jerks is trying to point at you with his tied hands. You're a false believer, a fake captain. You're leading people to the gloom of heresy away from salvation. Oh, it's funny when you just say things that are true. I'll oversee this interrogation myself. His command, although I believe itself will require some effort. Questioning fanatics is a long and exhilarating process. And once again, the Lord Captain's doing his subjects' work for them. Dirty, bloody work. Myra's Eye, have your fun. Marzay's long, slender silhouette looms over the prisoner. You can see something flash in his hands. You are unsure what exactly the Drakari does to the man, but the sounds and the convulsions give you an idea of the agony in which the torturer drowns his victim. Eventually, Marzay returns to you with a scoff. I would play for longer, but if I continue, there won't even be scraps left for you. Your song, I hear it, I won't break. Not much longer, your lordship. Now I get to whack him. Screams of pain eventually give way to weak, long wails. The man's body lies broken, slashed, cut open, and burnt. Surface skin reveals open fractures and torn tendons. His eyes widen in terror at your smallest movement in his direction. Stop, I'll talk. Prisoner's ready to cooperate, your lordship. Who is your boss? The cults of the Ravenous Star, the true believers, the righteous, purest congregation, they who hear the songs of his angel. Is this angel like an old guy who kind of has a deep voice? Old sorcerer? No, the angel is not of the woeful human form. He is splendor. His visage is a divine inspiration of the many-armed emperor. You, faithless one, were granted the honor of gazing upon the Magus, our good shepherd, our messenger. Captive lets out a deranged chuckle, not a cackle. If you beheld the angel, you would scratch your own brain out through your eye sockets. You'd realize the depth of your wickedness before him. Many-armed. Blasted, what Captain are doing with an extremely dangerous Xenos cult that excels at hiding among humans. Am I supposed to know who this many-armed emperor is? Maybe not, because if I was, then he'd probably give it like an orange text. What do you know about our enemy? Very little, as per regulations. Every master at arms passes on special instructions to their successor. Instructions that more resemble disturbing tales. Some of them mention genetic cults, covert clans, cliques, and sects all over sects that share one common trait: Xenos infestation. These things pass themselves off as ordinary people, as rabble or preachers corrupting new groups. Pray to their unholy idol, which they often refer to as the many-armed emperor. Create ever-growing families and produce offspring. Pities at first, with each new generation more and more human appearance, and then they rise up. The many-armed emperor? Their arms, Lord Captain. Xenos have more arms than normal. They twist and pervert our faith, probably for the sole reason that it gives them blasphemous pleasure. Why do they choose to act among the rabble specifically? Lord, I accept plenty of dark corners for the Xenos to lie in wait. Commoners are too dull-witted and spineless to identify the threat before it's too late. At the same time, they're dull-witted and spineless enough to serve as cannon fodder to be thrown at the cult's enemies when the uprising begins. So what's the endgame? Their end goal is always mutiny, to prepare for many generations, accumulating weapons and numbers, until one day they attack. That day is their day of revelation, the apotheosis of their profane faith. They think that on that day, their blasphemous star children will descend from the void and elevate their worshippers. Okay, cool. In lieu of answering, Sarvak nods grimly, lost in troubling thoughts. So how'd they recruit you? I believed. I found him. I bound him. The angel's kin granted me a revelation. It entered my flesh. It let me join the congregation. Elaborate. We believe in the many-armed emperor who waits for his children cast out into the ignoble abyss. He's kind, merciful, uproots tyrannies of evil. He sends his angel to the righteous. Angel's kin follow. And lowers his gaze in an expression of surprise. Seems he has described his paltry religion in its entirety. This is a pawn, a mindless tool. He's brainwashed and forced into submission. He's not even a distributor of ideology. He was merely fed the rudiments, and without trusting him with anything important, they sent him out to serve and die. So what's your endgame, my man? Death, yours. Fake captain, the faithful are already aiming for your heart. I was ordered to stockpile weapons. so that when the fateful hour comes, the righteous would not stand unarmed. Wouldn't say that these improvised Webers are that much better than fighting with bare hands. Yeah, I noticed. Until we are done with the cleanup, every enforcer will carry a combat knife fit for cutting through nets. Okay, so where's your leader? In a sanctuary, a tomb for heretics. Quiet place. The dynasty crypts. Vermin have infiltrated the crypt, holding the bodies of the worthiest servants of the dynasty. No one's allowed inside save for the Lord Captain's personal retinue, and they dared, but how? Crypt's defenses are impenetrable. So that's our next goal? Yes, your lordship, we must attack now while we still have the elements of surprise. I will lead the strike force, but I will require your presence and the Confessor Adalbert's help. Your machine spirits guard the dead. I can read. We'll let an armed troop pass without direct command from the rogue trader in the ring of the ship's Confessor. I'll meet you at the doors. Guessing a glance at the prisoner, whispering incoherently under his breath, Sarbeck adds offhandedly, "And this vile scum, with your permission, will throw out of the airlock. I doubt it will be of any further use." Out over the airlock he goes. It'll be done, your lordship. Fantastic. Okay. So I've already checked this place fully. Let's get out of here. The crypt, I think. If I remember right. Talk to him. Whoa. Adalbert, the ship's confessor, solemnly raises his hands above the altar and speaks mournfully. Heed me, O guardian spirits. We have come to punish your great desecration. Heresy has made us lair in the dynastic crypt and disturb the peace of our honored dead. Beg you to perform the ritual of unsealing and allow us passage. Hand-shaped panel opens the altar of unsealing. The panel is lined with sharp spikes. Lord Captain, I now require your blood. The crypt will not open without the rogue trader's genetic signature. Are we ready? Ready as never before, your lordship. We are incensed by this profane intrusion and eager to exterminate the menace before the eyes of our departed ancestors. Our enforcers will secure the side sections of the crypt to prevent any flanking attacks. Alright, let's do this. Panel's mechanical teeth sting your flesh, and you feel your blood trickling down small ducts into the altar's bowels. Hear a click, and the crypt doors open with a piercing creak. Beyond them, you see nothing but darkness. Sacrilege! The hallowed crypt must remain illuminated at all times to drive away the shadows from the place of the ancestors' final repose. This was done on purpose. I'm sure that our coming is expected. Vanguard, provide the Lord Captain with a Luminator servo skull. He's a surprisingly easy smile and bows. Take care of your lordship, and watch out for the dark corners. Move out, for House Fondolentius.
For the Emperor! I'll show you how it's done. Moving out.
Go, go, go!
You got this, lads. Your lordship, wait, there's been... Fleming bursts into the compartment and stops short when he sees the open doors and the gloom beyond. Damn it, I'm late. It's to report an act of sabotage. They've cut off the Prometheum supplies to the crypt's lighting, walking into an ambush. Why are you just now finding it out? Covered the tracks well. I was worried about your safety. Which is why I took the liberty of sending maintenance patrols to inspect the perimeter of the crypts. Well, nice call, I guess. Officer bows his head with dignity. You notice fresh oil stains on his coat. Seems he's not only sent his underlings, but also to investigate the area himself. Well, I'm gonna go in anyway. You might be underestimating the enemy. Forcers have already done it once. The Infernus Guild will join you in this fight, if you would have us. To get inside, the Aberrations would have had to make passage for themselves somewhere in the crypt's perimeter. No one knows the maintenance tunnels better than us. Find this breach and attack the enemy from the rear. Got a few workers armed with axes and torches will make much of a difference. We will be honored to die in your name. Then arm yourselves properly. Have actual weapons, please. Depends on who's wielding it. Mike says with a chuckle, but then his expression darkens. Current skill is banned from taking up arms, then it's branded because our ancestors were rebels. Station we ordinarily hail from once arose against Lady Theodora's predecessor. Traitors were killed, the rest of the station was left stranded in the void to die without air or water. Out of those who repented, the rogue traders selected 1,000 who were allowed on board. Those spared became the Infernus Guild, repairmen, firefighters, those who bear the brunt of any disaster and are the first to die. That was penance in centuries. We still die not just because our duty demands it, but because we atone for what our ancestors did. The enforcers keep reminding us about it, and if they see an armed Infernus, they'll execute them on the spot. Such was the Lord Captain's will. I don't care about what your great-great-granddad did. I never would have dared to ask, your lordship. You'll live up to your expectations, I swear. And those who die today will die smiling, for today is a great day for our people. Furnace Master and his people leave the hall. Doors of the crypt are open, it's time to step into the darkness. Alright, let's quick save in case this is an actual difficult fight. That Psyker fight wasn't anything, really. But, who knows? Oh, it auto-saved. Come on, back.
Patience? My nerves are frayed!
Gates have been blocked to cut off all possible escape routes for heretics and enforcers alike. They will not open until your victory has been secured. Hello? I would like to go the wrong way first.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Let's do some grave robbing, sure. That doesn't seem especially good. Well, it's good, but I don't have anyone that uses guns. Is this still the wrong way? This way. It's also the wrong way. But maybe it has something cool to grab? This way's wrong.
These bones of the dead should be serving the living. They could be used in rites or divinations, or as amulets. Why are they here, gathering dust and concealed from people's eyes?
This statement is true. The remains could be usefully processed into corpse starch, and the premises refitted to house the vessel's systems.
Corpse starch? I don't want to know what that is. What's this though? Oh, no, it's more. Okay. I was right though. That was the wrong way. Which means this is the only other way to go. And thus
Tantalizing anomaly.
is correct. Well, that was a lovely sound. Let's head back to the entrance. So I assume we'll
We
meet
will see.
whatever
Oh yes.
T-Rex made that sound.
They
Wait.
all will see.
Servitor's gone. Fresh pools of blood and embalming fluid drip down some deep grooves on the floor. It looked like they were left by monstrous claws. Okay, we'll follow the blood trail then. The blood trail's done. Wires protrude from the servitor's severed head, wrapping around a fragment of spine. Broken jaw twitches frantically, struggling to shut. Huh.
One step at a time amidst the madness.
Maybe the blood trail went further this way? Server's good over that way. So I'll just recheck every room. Yeah, I'm not missing anywhere. So maybe... No, servitor's cool in here. That was a pretty loud noise. It's weird no one's saying anything. Like the servitors, I get it. They're lobotomized, so they don't care. But everyone else... Maybe Abelard. Adelbert. No. Well... Let's go back in here. Maybe I missed something.
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Relatively speaking, there's not much to work with, so I think I just happened to stumble into it eventually. Oh. Another pickaxe, I can dual wield them. 15% maximum wounds per iconoclast. Removes all injuries. Huh. Well, it's a shame that I'm not very iconoclast, and I can't be very iconoclast. Who's my most iconoclast? You could do it. Heal 30% of someone's HP. Yeah, and you're nothing. Illuminator. Gate does not get. The Illuminator, Servo Skull Gleam, reveals the lifeless cable of the entry classificator snaking into the dark. So I poke the servitors. Nothing here.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Pascal, fix this.
The machine god grants me insight.
So I'm just not gonna find out what weird monster is in here. that got through this door, maybe? Like, that was a scary noise, and then there's just blood on the ground. Okay, sure. I'm not curious. Who needs to know what the big monster is? Hello. Forward, faithful, pure, crush. Oh, okay, that was there for like 2 seconds. Why would you do that?
What a curious specimen.
You cannot stop the Angel's faithful!
Whatever you say, my man. Are you scared? Oh, hey. Probably one of those guys. Oh, I see. It's gonna be like the xenomorph dude. Sounds like no ranged attacks. Pascal. I would like to move here.
Advancing.
Put the rear. Said put the rear. Here.
The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
Do one of. Yep. Do one of these.
Request approved.
Don't think I need to do anything else, so just get these guys off my screen. Thank you. I guess no reason not to weaken this dude. I'm not using a melted charge for that dude. Okay. Probably should have killed zone now I think about it. Didn't they say Abelard was gonna be the next? Whatever.
You're my brethren!
Build.
Don't distract me. A perfect killing strike. Watch. It is
Big bang.
Behold. With grace and malice.
And that. Oh, and
Behold.
give yourself the buff.
The angel will reward
Oh yeah, there's
us.
more. It is a xenomorph. Kinda thought they'd be here. I did think it was weird that they only showed up once. It's not a big deal. They're not that scary anymore. I mean, they weren't really ever scary. Because I did kill it, even though I wasn't supposed to be able to.
Through the
They were
smoke
strong.
and gunfire. Ah, another one is shattered. A genius at work.
Oh, just dudes. Fun. I can kill
Let's
one of you.
see.
Oh. That didn't cut. Oh, okay. Fine.
A wicked thought.
Okay. Now we're gonna
Let's
reckless.
see.
We've got a sworn enemy.
A wicked thought.
We're gonna take away some of the rest of your deflection and some of your armor. And then we're gonna stab you real good.
A genius. Fate claims another one.
Nice.
Behold my artistry!
Now... Oh hey, these guys are yellow. I didn't realize that.
War is my muse.
Stab.
Scheme.
Stab.
Another one is shattered.
Now it's your turn, my good sir.
The storm approaches. Let's see.
I hope you have a phase
What
2. No.
Let's see. Fate claims another one.
Now, I want you to move here. And we'll have you teleport next turn. Bella. You'll just do cleanup, I guess. Huh. Okay. Well, that's weird. I'll just have you move here. I forget how your stuff works, but...
I will leave
do that and
footprints
that.
of scarlet.
And then...
I shall not. Killing brings me no pleasure.
Did you just take no damage? Huh. Well, I'm not sure I can do anything about that.
My blade whispers your name.
Am I actually doing damage and it's just being negated? Yeah, I'm just not doing damage. Okay. Well, damage modifier is minus 15. Minus 14. Well, I don't think I can kill these things then. Which is unfortunate. And I'm not sure I can do any more movement.
As honor ordains.
I'm getting degraded defense in, I guess.
Only the faithful will ascend.
So how am I supposed to kill you? Maybe I can control this thing? I don't think I can get over there. That's the best I
Tried
got.
and tested tactics are the best ones. I will do my duty.
Take that, fools. Yes, I would like you. There's no way you can reach him though, right? Yeah. Right? Oh, you can. Okay. Well, we'll have you blast these guys.
I'm not accustomed to
And
being
does that
ordered
kill you?
around. As duty demands.
Fates.
Interesting. $58, $54. Okay.
Isn't this a job for the serfs?
No. You did take damage though. Which is odd. Can you get nerfed by
Me?
this?
If you insist, Lord Captain.
No.
If I may. In the name of House Orselli.
Teleport over here.
A wicked thought.
Walk over here. Stab this fool.
A genius at work. Predictable downfall. Step by step, I lead.
And then there's only one more dude. Minus the strongholds. So, it's not like I can just dance over, right? No. I can try to just hit it really hard. Maybe.
Schemes within schemes. Behold the wrath
Yeah.
of madness.
Didn't expect that to work,
Wicked
really.
thought. You are marked for demise.
I mean, maybe I can just
What if?
degrade the defensive. I don't think I have degraded defense on me, actually. No. I did, but that was after the point and
the
everything.
wrath of madness.
So I'm not sure what should be done about this. Maybe once I kill
Me.
that last dude,
If you insist, Lord Captain.
Myers' turn.
The true believers will break them around.
Unless you guys manage it.
I must not falter.
My faith strengthens me.
Weather the storm.
Huh. Well, move a bit forward.
Activate calculated fury algorithm.
I don't know how you're intended to beat these guys.
Request approval.
Go back and work.
The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
That took away some HP from it, I think, technically. That took away more HP from it. Got 70 HP now.
Oblivion approaches.
Momentum.
A genius at work. Fate claims another one. Schemes within schemes. Another one is shattered. Let's see. Behold the wrath of madness.
I would like you to do this.
Come, the other side.
Okay, I did just have to kill
Claims another one.
all the enemies. Oh, we leveled, I think. Old man before you resembles a human being, but the scaled bony growths going from the bridge of his nose to the top of his bloated, hairless head, grotesque cheekbones, and the black claws on his meaty fingers give no doubt that this creature is a genetic aberration. He sputters in a creaking voice. Black spittle sprang from his mouth. You've spilt the blood of the congregation. You have offended the purest of his chosen soldiers. You heretic! Whose last word elicits a nervous laugh from the nearby enforcers. Irony of this embodied perversion of the human form accusing you of heresy is not lost on him. Confessor whispers in quiet prayer. Master-at-Arms is watching the old man's every move, his lips twisted in contempt. Master-at-Arms, report. Sarbeck's gaze. He's trained on the mutant. You notice the deep wounds on her chest and shoulder, but she shows no signs of acknowledging their existence. Strike forces have cleared the side sections of mutants. Freaks fought like madmen, but they could not match the skill of the Von Valencia's forces. Once victory was secured, pursuit units made sure that none would escape. Our flamer squads are in the process of purging the crypt, all degenerates confirmed dead. Nick, I see you found the hole. They found that the mutants got wormed their way inside. We have. Discovery costs us skilled 68 souls. It was crowded in those tunnels. Set monsters on us, but few things can scare someone who has been seeing a fire in the arsenal bay. Sarek casts a hostile look at the auto pistol on Heinrich's belt and says nothing. How much of the ship is desecrated? The crypt, I should say. The accursed spawn have disrespected the spirits of the dead, but thankfully they did not have enough time to wreak as much destruction as they could have. Many tombs were disturbed, but what is most outrageous, they sought to despoil Lady Theodora's urn. After her ladyship's cremation, her ashes were made into this magnificent relic, an example of resilience and purity. One of the heretics dared to lay claim to it. Nevlord stares at a gem with a crestfallen expression. His lip twitches as if he is struggling against a new wave of grief, or else enraged at the thought of someone so heinously violating Theodore's rest. Forces himself to look away without saying a word. Do all rogue traders have their remains turned into gemstones? No. Tradition demands that the Lord Captain's body be burned, so that none could use samples of their tissue or blood to gain access to chip systems that require the rogue trader's genetic imprint. Lady Theodora herself once voiced her desire to be turned into a stone. I'm gonna keep the relic. If such is your lordship's wish, I see deep symbolism in this duty. Persuasion increased by commerce divided by 5. That's a... okay. The ashes of the other eminent dead, whose rest was disturbed, will be transferred to the reliquary chapel. Rites of redemption will be held day and night. Thousands of the ship's crew will be allowed to kneel before the relics to pray for the Lord Captain's health and the dynasty's prosperity. Oh, by the way, sorry, Jocasta, you're forgiven. Thank you for restoring her honor, Lord Captain. Let's see what the ringleader has to say. Shall perish in the cold void, your heart shall beat its last under the light of uncaring stars, your lungs shall become trees of ice within your chest. You shall never receive the grace of the many-armed emperor. Old man calls curse after curse down upon spiteful satisfaction. I'm gonna poke one of your wounds. Old man doubles over, but it's not pain or fear, but burning hatred that contorts his face. Go on, torture me, I'll endure it all. My time may be up, but you are all doomed. I will gladly spit the words of truth in your face, and they will burn you like acid. And death I will ascend to the hosts of pure voices, and I will await the day when you will pay for the shed blood of his children. Who is the many-armed emperor? The true God who comes through the void to us as devout children. The universe is an abyss of horrors, and only he can save us, but not you, vile heretics. You are all doomed. So you were the guy I saw in the vision. Erupts in wet, erupting laughter. That's a bizarre adjective for... okay. I am the herder of the pure. The many-armed emperor has blessed my mind with the ability to behold him, and I guided his children until you came and slaughtered us, heretic. Their loathsome tribe spawned a sorcerer. No doubt to help them brainwash more victims and swell the cult's ranks. So what are you? We are the pure. We are the congregation. Children of the many-armed emperor. Genetic perfection of existence. You will never understand. You are of inferior flesh. Genes are woven from feebleness and misery. We are the new curve of the spiral. We are one, and thus we are strong. Pascal's visor flashes scarlet, growing brighter with every word. The statement is false. Only the true flesh is perfect. You are a scrap of ignorant meat. This vaunted genetic perfection, which you are not, will be ground into nothing by the cogs in the Omnissiah. The old man shrinks and hisses as his face is bathed in the red light of the visor, itself framed by the shadows of writhing megadendrites. So why is your lair here, specifically? None wander in here. We were free to offer our prayers without fear of discovery. The sight of dead heretics was pleasing. Trampling your bones was a righteous act. That's why I ordered the pure to sunder the walls of your bone vault and make this place a sanctuary for the congregation. Glance at the gaping hole in the adamantine bulkhead. It's almost unbelievable if the mutants were able to make a hole like that. It would have required a truly powerful industrial equipment, and not the kind that can be easily assembled or stolen. 200 demolition, that's crazy. Now I see why so many inspectors in the adjacent compartments have had accidents. Are there more of you? 40 years ago, the profaner Theodora, the false sovereign, stopped at the trade outpost Heracles Rim to replenish her crew. The outpost had long served as a bastion of the pure. Brother and I were chosen to embark on our ship and prepare for the coming of the many-armed emperor. His uprising against your godless dominion has been many years in the making. Notice that the crypt looks surprisingly undefiled, even after all these years. Heretics could have turned it into an inconceivable nightmare, yet the signs of corruption are few and localized here. Heriox Rim, that cesspool of abomination must be burned. Who knows how many ships they have infected over the decades. Yeah, I've had enough. Hang this guy. The man's face twists in rage, and his milky eyes bulge. Many-armed emperor cometh. True God shall avenge us, and when he does, I will laugh. The string of doomsaying is silenced by a kick from the Master at Arms. hit level. Nice. Let's see. Toughness. Because toughness gives HP, and HP gives strength. Boost your... I guess awareness, because it keeps making me do those checks on my own. It doesn't really matter, I think. Go take Imperium, I guess. Perception. I think that helps with your operativeness. You can also take Imperium because you're my best person for it. Awareness. This brings you up to a new modifier, so that'll be good. And I don't know what else you'd want. Athletics, you're not better than Sig. What is this? Fully prepared. Huh. I guess you can also have Imperium. Why not? Take demo, why not? Alright, easy level. Did we get any drops?
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
We got pretty bad dagger. And I guess it's not a bad gun, but I don't use guns. What else we get? Oh wait, no, those use charges. I thought it didn't anymore since I already won, but... Shouldn't loot the bodies, I'm gonna loot them when I leave the woods that I want. Okay, so now we're going to Perico's Rim. That's probably how you say it. Or Heriox. That's how we say it, I've decided. Bridge, and then to another loading screen, and then another, and then probably like maybe 2 more after that. I am patient. Alright. So this is Dargonus. We don't want to go there. If I want to get there... you can go here, and it will go there. We've been attacked. This fight will probably be harder than the whole DLC, it feels like.
Why what lies beyond.
Let's go over here.
The battleground beckons!
Put Sig there. Abelard there, and then we're fine. Look and see how Cabela goes in a real fight. You gotta go? Alright, I appreciate you being here. It was nice to have you. Cass will also send you this way. And yeah, you're fine there, Pascal.
Request approved.
Flip it rear over here.
Running binaric override. The Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all. Running binaric override.
How much do I cut your... HP by? About like 50. I do wonder how that happens. Like, does it take into account armor with their HP? I don't know.
My vow is to serve.
And now you don't have stats. Wait, no, that only works on machines. You dumbass. Alright, right as I go over here,
Herd the prey.
stab yourself.
It is handled.
Can you one-shot this guy?
Watch. With grace and malice.
I mean, I would think you could, but I'm not sure.
Don't distract me.
Nice. I'm so proud.
I will savor your delectable anguish. It is handled.
Stab this guy. And then make him bleed.
What?
Lovely. Cass. Marzai was a bit more efficient than I thought he'd be, so you may be in a little bit of trouble. Maybe.
That is foolishness.
No line of sight. He's right there. Okay, whatever. That somehow gets you? Okay. Well, I can not get you. Okay. But I can get you like this.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
I'm done playing with you.
Thought I destroyed the cover. That's fine. Let's
If I may.
give Cabela this opportunity.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. I'll paint your death in colors.
Move here.
Death comes in silence.
I was hoping that you could. There.
As the tenets demand.
Value.
This goes against the tenets.
Your incompetence
didn't
knows
mean
no
to.
bounds!
Do that. Okay, whatever.
Your entrails.
Pain soothes my soul.
So you're fine there, actually.
A wicked thought.
Surely that's enough to just...
What if a predictable downfall?
Kind of thought that would give me daring, but okay.
Schemes within schemes. A wicked thought.
I've got plenty of movement, surely. For a while.
Let's see.
Thanks. Better than
I
the fear.
bring mercy and retribution.
Nope.
Useless. Pain and duty go hand in hand. Behold. With grace and manners. Don't distract me.
That should be enough.
It is happened. A perfect killing strike.
Lovely. Now we leave. What happened? The Lux mechanics assigned to the Astropathic Chapel are reporting a significant drop in our communications potential. This may be a consequence of the telepathic ritual in which your lordship deigned to participate. Forces report that the choir master asked for an audience with the Lord Captain and has since locked himself in the chapel, refusing to let anyone in. As brazen as the audience request may seem, I cannot shake the feeling that it's a cry for help. Master-at-Arms reports a disturbance in the Foundry Bay. A certain Nemesite, an avenging figure, beloved by the lower deck rabble, shopped the commandment during a routine medical supply delivery and called on the vessel's serfs to fight for a better life. The rabble immediately plundered the medical storehouse and proceeded to smash other supply stations, slaughtering officers as they went. Nemesite has escaped. The situation on the deck is increasingly spinning out of control. Master-at-Arms has permission to employ the harshest possible treatment, not simply to restore order, but to avenge the dead commandment as well as the fallen enforcers. Learn more about the Nemesite. Master-at-Arms reports that it is the fourth Nemesite to operate on lower decks over the past few years. The previous three were captured by enforcers and each openly identified themselves as Nemesite. Public executions evidently have no effect. People continue to rally around their hero as soon as one emerges, and always believe in the invulnerability of their champion. Central points out that all Nemesites act in the same fashion. Whenever the rabble is feeling oppressed, they step forward, serving as the spark that ignites the fires of sedition. Target the officers most hated by the workers for their strictness and adherence to order, every murder bringing cheers from the commoners. Boxmaster shares the rumors about Nemesite that abound on the lower decks. Some say as he arises from the blood of oppressed laborers, some that he is the vessel's spirit of justice. Others still believe he's an immortal hero. Such veneration makes it very difficult to capture the riffraff's champion. In light of the discovery of the gene stealer cult cell in the ship, Heinrichs von Calix recommends... Heinrichs isn't here, I'm not going to read that. Whoever gives up the Nemesite will be moved to the middle decks and paid a year's allowance. Many people betray their relatives and neighbors in hopes for a better life, but there's no true Nemesite among them. Enforcers suppress the divided mob and restore order with ease. Oh my goodness. Ah. Okay, well. First, let's heal. Okay, now Let's go talk to Mr. Wise. How do I get there? I think I know. What name? Astropathic Chapel. This is where I go, yeah? Hello? I was summoned? How dare you, by the way? Unpleasant heaviness grows in your head. It's a vice worth slowly tightening its grip on your mind. Farmaster is kneeling, his burnt-out eyes peering into the void. Raises his head, and you see a weary old man. Weak and frightened, he whispers, "She is here. Adeline has returned. She's asking me for help, but you scare her. She is hiding from you. You will not harm her, will you?" I mean, I did. Ow.
Brace yourself, Abelard.
From every direction, every shadow. How's that scale? Comes playful, girlish laughter. At times, it transforms into an old man's rueful weeping, and at other times, to a deep growl of annoyance. The sounds form cold, malicious words. The sorrow will be eternal. There's a hisses glancing at the shadows anxiously. You can almost feel the claws of she who thirsts clamping around our souls. The sooner we leave this place, the better. Have your servants void this compartment once we are done. Such a terribly wounded soul. It is all but sunk beneath the gray blue blisters of guilt, and they are swelling ever so rapidly. The last silvery speck of hope could fade at any moment. So why did I get smacked? Well, I sense nothing. Otherworldly gaze is directed through and past you to a spot further inside the chapel. Slip silently whispers a name over and over. So why did you smack me, ghost? Mocking laughter of an old man turns into a moaning whisper. I'm the victims. I'm the murdered innocents. I am his guilt. How do I find Adeline? Adeline, she is here in the shadows. A sigh escapes his feeble body. Many shadows lie. True ghosts are hiding among the false ones. But I hear Thaddeus's earned prayer, and old Stavros' words of disappointment. He always doubted my talents as a mentor. Hear poor Antonius' scream he let out when he unwillingly gave up the last of his vitality. Aeneas' pleas condemned her to an existence as a half-machine. Could even almost sense Savita's touch. Tried to save me, but she fell instead. So many voices all condemning me for what I did. Find them, separate the true voices from the false echoes. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Shadows croak in an old man's voice. Why do you seek his redemption? He was always a terrible leader and a talentless mentor. He doomed everyone. The indignant tremble grows into a roar of righteous condemnation. He was arrogant, having no notion of his own wretchedness. Did not put his faith in the Emperor, but instead believed himself to be invincible. His voice grows weaker. He is now a young man, soft and full of anguish. He paid for his mistake with our lives. It was cruel and painful. His voice grows heavy with a metallic clang. We begged him to reconsider, and then he took our minds as punishment. Mind's way as punishment. Shadow's speech is now gentler and more feminine, but we were loyal to him regardless. Tried to save him, even though he had not saved us. He is guilty. Okay. Ow, by the way.
Too much for me.
Did you enjoy the pain? Okay. What is it though?
One step at a time amidst the madness.
Ow. Holy. That did a lot of damage to us, actually. Hey, lads.
One day. Yet.
Is this a puzzle?
Time to prove my mettle.
I don't think I can mess up much more. But I don't know what the correct thing is.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Okay. Gladly give my last for you, teacher. Did not willingly give up my life and energy willingly to control my will. He made me train myself dry. Maybe I clicked the good one?
Went to more conservative tactics.
No. Okay, so it's a pattern. This one. Then this one.
They will see. Oh, yes, indeed. They all will see.
It's not the one here. Are there only 3 of them? Yes. So... if it's not you... let me drain myself dry. Okay. It's only one of you, it looks like. My mind is boiling. Teacher, please stop. Are there any other yous? Maybe? Yeah, there is another you. Please, teacher, anything better to kill me than turn me into one of those mindless things. Do I talk to you for hints? No. Gosh damn you, Black Bear. If I remember right, Anise got turned into a servitor or a robot of some kind. But they all say that, so I don't know if that's the correct thing. Mind is boiling. I guess that would be wrong. guess I picked the most correct one? Like, don't turn me into one of those mindless things, which would be a servitor. And then you also mentioned something about it. You, maybe? I'm so smart. I don't know who Savita did. What happened to Savita? Let's kill him for the glory of the dark gods. Cannot stand against us alone. If you're guilty of arrogance and betrayal of your choir, you will be sentenced. Maybe that guy? Was he the one that didn't like him? Anyone else around?
Patience! My nerves are frayed!
So please, I'm just by your side. What did he say that told me? Tried to save me, but she fell instead. Savita. This one? Okay. Hey, Adeline, how's it going? Go stares at Wise mournfully. Muffled sob coming from the apparition almost seemed to take physical form as it drifts toward the choirmaster and envelops him. Weiss blocks your path, extending his arms in a gesture that both calls for restraint and pleads for mercy. Do not harm her, please. The poor girl's frightened to death. Let me talk to her. I cannot fail again. Adeline is dead. Weiss's expression is a mixture of pain, horror, and grief. Closes his arm slowly. I know, your lordship. I know it's not Adeline, but an echo of the one who devoured her soul. Just wanted to see her again, hear her voice again for a brief moment. Jerky movements, as though shaking off shackles of ice, he picks up the staff. This is my failure. Now is your time to vanish. Weiss's breathing is labored. Thank you, your lordship. The burden was too heavy for me to bear. With a fainting, he musters the last of his strength to sit down on the steps. You good, dude? In a bodily sense? Yes, your lordship. So, what was that? A reckoning, Lord Captain. Reckoning for my great arrogance. Demons have been pursuing me for years, following a scent, sending me dire messages, hunting me. Now they have me. Entities that manifested here during the ritual were banished, but a lingering echo of their presence that has latched onto the shadows. It sprouted in the darkness and pounced upon my mind. So why were they pursuing me? I am guilty. I wronged them. I've been promised a great future in the Scholastia Icona. My talents were exceptional. But fate would not have it, and instead, on serving unholy Terra, ended up here on the Expanse, barely a gleam of the Astronomicon reaches. My pride took a heavy blow, but my spirit was not cowed. Set about to assemble a choir unlike any had seen here. Mighty, resonant, astounding choir, Lady Theodora expended tremendous resources, bartering with captains and governors to procure astropaths of my choosing. Brought together talents and budding geniuses under my authority. They were to ensure I would make a triumphant comeback. And they could do that for me, a team of brilliant astropaths whose talents were honed to perfection. Adeline, Anis, Antonius, every one of them surpassed myself as I used to be. I saw that my time was coming, and I lied when I told you it was Lady Theodora who forced me to go through the ritual. The idea had been mine, when in their paranoia, they set out to find spies aboard the ship. I made her an offer. A ritual that would give her the names. In exchange for my fledgling's freedom, my own. It was a good deal. She was willing to trade seven astropaths for the names of traitors. I doomed them all. My pride killed them. What went wrong during the ritual? Chuckles bitterly. Scarlet stains bloom on his blindfold made of sacred manuscripts. Madeleine was my ritual protector, only to become my greatest vulnerability. When the mad stream of other people's thoughts started to disorient my astropaths, I became frightened for her. I hesitated. I wanted to spare her, and I lost control. The right thing to do would have been to sacrifice her, but I couldn't. I always had a soft spot for her. Her genius made her my favorite. So what about everyone else? Not all of them. Stavros was the oldest one in the choir. He'd been on the ship even longer than I. Mighty, wise man, if acrimonious? I don't know what that word is. Word of the day. Google, tell me what acrimonious means. Acrimony. I can't say it. I got it right that one time. Let's see. Acrimonious. Adjective that describes speech, behavior, or interactions that are angry, bitter, and full of sharp hostility. Okay. He envied me and criticized my ambition, but I was fond of him all the same. Thaddeus was my ship's confessor. Theodore had insisted on his presence. When it was over, he was the only other survivor. When he confronted me with angry accusations, I could not bear to listen to him, so I silenced him, killed him. Savitia was an ordinary servant. She fought the Materium's monsters until the warp began to prevail. She tried to save me, to lead me away, but I did not listen. She stayed by my side until the last moment and died a terrible death, all because of my accursed pride. The rest were my voices. Antonius was the youngest. He had been in the choir only for a short while. When the situation turned dire, fear got the best of him, and I was infuriated by his weakness. It dominated Antonius' mind and impelled him to use up every spark of his life force for the ritual. Anisa's doom became even earlier. She was the one who told me, in front of the choir, that the ritual was madness. In anger, I ordered her servitorized. I believed I had to protect my authority. She died on the spot where you're standing now. I think she was still aware. Her scalpel drops seeped through the choirmaster's red-stained blindfold. All my voices, I remember the name of each one, his life had cut short within these walls. So if you got your freedom, then why'd you stay? At first, Lady Theodora wanted to have me executed for what had happened, but then she regained her composure and graciously agreed to honor our deal. But where was I to go? My dead were all here. It's kinda messed up, dude. That's for the best. I can no longer carry this burden alone. Lady Theodora dead, I thought my crime had been forgotten. The thought of my crime being forgotten, erased from history, is unbearable. I want to be judged and condemned. You have not allowed the warp to break you, and I believe the Emperor's light is strong in your soul. Continue your service, for humanity needs you, and in duty you will find redemption. Choirmaster's grip of the aquila on his belt grips the aquila on his belt so tightly that the gold wings drop blood from his fist. You are right, Lordship. Wishing to abandon my post is cowardice and an offense against him. After a moment's hesitation, the old man holds out his staff to you. Please take it. This mighty instrument is the last reminder of Adelaine and the others of my guilt. It is with this that I performed the last ritual. I have no right to carry it any longer. I would like it to be yours. A reminder of the painful lesson my pride has taught me. I don't think I can use this. Maybe Idra can? Maybe that's good. I'll have to see how it scales on Idra, who's not in my party right now. Well, that was nice.
There will be no peace
It
in
only
my
costs
wake.
me nearly killing my entire party because I didn't understand the puzzle. But we got there. I figured it out halfway through, and then once I figured out what I needed to do, I didn't mess up that much. Got it done pretty quickly. I probably could have just brute forced it, I think. Unless Sig got enough wounds to lower his HP beyond whatever threshold that it was doing. It was doing a lot of damage, though. I think it was slowly going higher. Because I think at first it barely did any damage, and then it was slowly doing more to the point where it was doing like 90% of my health. And everyone else is dying. I don't know how Vision to Death works, but probably decent if I ever use Idra again, which I may. But I think it's time I end stream here. It's a little early, but I think I'm close to the end of the DLC. I don't know. No matter. We're right outside Erica's Rim. So I'm going to end stream here. I'll be back again Monday, same time, noon central. Nether, it was nice to have you. It was nice to have anyone else. Hope to see you then. Have a good rest of your day.